Now recording.
I'm waiting to see it on screen. I think we're good. All right. I'm checking audio real quick. All right, yeah, we're good. All right, welcome guys. Listen. So we were in a VC on our recording and Core wanted to go live, but we had nothing to go live about. I thought maybe we could go talk about Review Tech USA or something like that. And then this Dylan Thomas guy, he's been like kind of orbiting now recording for a bit, popping into VCs, telling, his life story and commentary. It turns out he was like a big commentary guy back in like 2016 to 2021, and he covered Chris Chan a lot, and then he kind of just disappeared. And then Leia wanted to ask him questions about Leo Convoy because apparently he's kind of wrapped up into this art drama. Now, if you don't know, Hopeless Peaches just put out a Google Doc about Leo Convoy and has completely thrown Leo Convoy out of the under the bus. You got the doc ready there, Core?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to start reading this. Just let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Yep, it's on screen.
All right. Okay, hey, this is Hopeless Peaches, and this is the last time you'll hear from me. First of all, I want to again apologize for my part in the Rosa call in 2022. I wanted to state so earlier, but everything else got that piled on since made me shut down, and well, here we are. If you've been in the Senate for a while, you know of the Rosa call, and that I have regretted that call daily and genuinely done what I can to change the server so that it could never happen again. Now, if you don't know what the Rosa call is, we covered it on Now Recording. Rosa was brought into a stage and basically was a dogpiled by Hopeless Peaches, Leo Convoy, and a bunch of people. And Rosa it was obvious they had like a cognitive ability of not really understanding what's going on. So I don't know what happened for me to put for me to be out of character as to allow that, let alone join. But I can't push myself for the Senate anymore. The reason I am leaving Senate and why I have purged all my social media is to get away from Leo Convoy and to find myself again. Now, if you don't know this, Leo Convoy and Peaches are really close to the point where Leo Convoy refers to him. Peaches has changed their pronouns as their daughter, which I guess they'd be their son now. I don't know. I used to say that I had been abused online for 10 years straight, but it has taken me a long time to realize the abuse. It's scary to admit it, but I feel it's true. He isn't a child predator that I'm aware of, as some people have claimed, but that doesn't mean he's some savior of the innocent either. Thomas is a man who has taken in vulnerable people, most he knew as minors, who have trauma relating to sexual abuse by older men to fulfill his fantasy of a perfect family. All of us have been sexually abused by older parental figures, Jordan, Jay, Opal, and myself. My groomer posed the same family dynamic. Recently, I have found out that Thomas tried to push two young, barely legal. I don't know what AFABs mean. Is it all furries are bastards? I don't know what that means. AFABs who were specifically groomed by Joshua Vida, Thomas's ex-friend, into this dynamic too, then treated them like shit when they refused. All of us AFABs and all of us with deep-rooted trauma that made us susceptible to further abuse. Thomas used that to his advantage to play house, and if you didn't act how he wanted you to, he would verbally and mentally beat you down to a pulp. This is a pattern, and I didn't see it until now. In mid-late 2022, I had just separated from an abusive partner and was still coming to terms with the abuse I faced IRL and online, which is when I started talking to Thomas properly. He seemed nice at first, but after a suicide attempt that resulted in my hospitalization, I had age regressed in the aftermath. Thomas pushed the idea of family onto me while I was in a vulnerable state, and when I woke up to being in this family, I didn't know how to set that boundary again and say no. That was on me. However, Thomas treated me the moment I was in that family is not on me, and it's taken me too long to recognize that. For 8 months, Thomas would verbally and emotionally abuse me. He would use my triggers against me to push me into a regressed state, then would scream at me about my own abuse. He would tell me how I must be an abuse apologist because I doubted my grooming experience and made extremely graphic and sexual comments about the abuse Jordan and Paul went through while I was age regressing and begging him to stop, as some sadistic way of making a point of what the real abuse is. I have no record proof of this, but this week I realized during my social media purge that I do have evidence of this behavior, albeit reined in. On the 28th of February 2023, Thomas and the old Senate mods had a call with an 18-year-old victim of Joshua who will have their identity protected to the comments made due to the comments made by Thomas being too disgusting to ever want to forever be tied to this person. By accident and verifying information about another young individual Thomas was weird with, Lumi stumbled upon even further evidence of Thomas berating and slut shaming the victim in this call, 16 to 17 at the time, as well as mocking and dismissing the sexuality because they were abused by a man. This is still publicly accessible in the server. This behavior is proven in his call to have not changed due to Thomas's continuous homophobic and slut shaming comments. If this is how we would treat victims in front of other people, I hope you can understand, even in some small way, how he would treat me for 8 months straight behind the scenes when he can and has lied about the severity of what he did to me. How this victim was treated was disgusting, and I can assure it was not a one-time thing. Thomas keeps stating he has changed since the Rosa call in 2022, while lying behind the scenes and pretending the work me and Luma did to restructure the Senate was on him. So basically, the Rosa call put a bad taste in everybody's mouth. There were rumors of it going around behind the scenes, and it was starting to look bad for Hopeless. So there was another call as it was being known that the Rosa call was going to come out, where Leo Convoy went into a stage and started doing the same thing he did to Rosa to this person named Lumi, or no, not Lumi, but another person. Can't remember their name. And Peaches popped in and tried to like optically save everything and shut Leo down. This caused a fight between Leo and Hopeless Peaches, which was really weird. And in this call that they had, where they had to fight, Hopeless claims to have age regressed, which now she's claiming that, or he is claiming that Leo is abusing them because they're age regressing, and Leo can't see that and doesn't treat them with kid gloves, I guess. I don't know. So, despite the fact that Lumi and I left Senate for a while because of Thomas's lack of accountability and refusal to let us put changes into place, we came back because we thought Thomas changed and genuinely wanted to have a better place for people to later find out, only placated us because he ran out of mods. Thomas would say he wanted mods who would hold him accountable, but when I called him out for his continued ableism towards Rosa in February 2024, he snapped at me, and K Cosmic had to step in and stop from yelling at me, only for him to pull me into a private call and yell at me there instead. On 22nd of February 2024, Thomas had a call with a person called Raven from the SEC and was aggressive from the get-go despite Raven being civil with him. Thomas then chose to, this is the name, Raven, to be his, by his own admission, assess their cognitive ability in front of over 100 people. I asked him to stop. Lumi tried to make him stop, and Thomas kept going, which made me have a server mute him and proceeded to get enraged at the mod and then come at me with only aggression about it when he heard from his wife that I was distressed and suicidal. Thomas has pushed me to the point of self-harm and suicide, even up to the present day. I thought it was only me who was being affected, so I bottled it up. I wasn't always treated like shit, so I convinced myself it was fine. I was told to get over it, being sexually abused only a couple months after it happened, when I was still dealing with the PTSD flashbacks of it. I was told I let my groomer get to the other people because I didn't realize what he did to me until I was 21 years old and lost his information. For Thomas to then backtrack when
Philip.
we spoke to that victim in 2023, how he would use that same language against me for 8 months straight, how he defended Kumo pushing a girl to self-harm, Kumo the cutter, self-harm in February 22nd, 2023, how he's treated my friends, and recently how he has been using ableist language to justify the Rosa call, to justify embarrassing Raven. I realize I can't be his lightning rod anymore. And yeah, pretty much the Google Doc keeps going. Uh, I'm about halfway through. It's pretty much the same thing. It's kind of repetitive. Age regressing. Leo Convoy's a abuser. Yada 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 yada. You get the drift. I just wanted to read a bit of it. All right, so I have Leia something in here with me. She's been researching the art community for quite some time, so I'm going to bring her in, and I'm going to bring in this Dylan Thomas guy because he apparently has a lot of knowledge about who Leo Convoy was. So what's up, Leia?
Hi, how are you?
Chilling. Just got done reading this fucking doc. Holy shit.
It's a crazy day.
Yeah,
Definitely a crazy day today
yeah,
or yesterday.
for sure. So, what's up, Dylan? You there?
Hello, yeah.
Yo, yo.
I I'm gonna be honest, like, because I don't have to have the popular opinion, I think the age regression stuff is bullshit with Peaches.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That is not a psychological thing. You don't just randomly turn into a child and start spouting about ducks because
Yeah,
someone might have done something to you 8 years ago. That's just
right.
not how it fucking works, and it's insulting that she is allowed to continue to fucking play the victim card when she's so bad at playing the victim card.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's obvious that this is a I'm throwing Leo under the
Oh,
bus
yeah,
now.
yeah, he's a sap. Like, he fell for her shit, like, it's obvious that she used him, and now she's throwing him under the bus to save herself. She'll be
Yeah,
back under a new name.
yeah,
Um, so Dylan, I just want to just to be frank with you. I don't think you're gonna have the unpopular opinion. So just speak your heart out, okay?
yeah,
I
yeah.
I think she
We're pretty chill and laid back in
Okay.
commentary.
Well,
So if
I
you
I
have a
just
hot take, just go for sure. Give the hot take.
I think that she's faking it. Like, maybe she has bipolar disorder and she suffers from some, delusions, but, like, I don't think that she is regressing as a child. That's not a real fucking thing. And anyone who's even humoring this, anyone who's even humoring this insanity, you're just as delusional as her. Like,
Yeah,
that's not a real thing. That's not a real thing that anybody does ever. You don't turn into a babbling 8-year-old. Like, that's insulting. It's like
True.
utterly insulting to any real victims of this type of thing. But let's be honest, as far as we're aware of, Peaches didn't go through anything. All of her abuse was through text. Like, am I not mistaken? Is her grooming like not through the internet and not in real life?
I,
So
I
only grooming turned her into a child?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. Um, from the sounds of her document, it seemed like a lot of the and I'm not going to speak for Peaches or him right now, but what I perceived from that Google document was a lot of the abuse happened from her ex-boyfriend or his ex-boyfriend at the time. Um, and what I've heard with Peaches and ex-boyfriends was that there was like a GoFundMe set up because the boyfriend cheated on her or him. Um, so yeah,
I don't know
I'm
if I can trust Peach's opinions on exes though, because the second she becomes an ex with Leo Convoy, she calls him an abuser when he's been only nice to her. She is
yeah,
the only person. And if there was times where he screamed at her, you think she didn't record that? You think she wouldn't upload that? But then she records him every time when he's just being extremely nice to her and patting her with as much kitty gloves as he can. I don't think
yeah.
there was ever a point where he was mean to her, like, maybe through text, because that's the only time he can be a badass. But, like, I don't think he was actually verbally abusive with her. She is the only person he seemed to give a shit about.
I mean, I was perplexed as to why she was crying in those videos that she posted in the Google
It's
Doc.
for it's all ops with her. I'm calling it. It's all a fucking game. Like, this shit was recorded in February, and she waited till now to release this shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why wait? Why wait till after everything starts to settle and the tides start turning against Leo to release this stuff?
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Like,
how far back do you go with Leo and Hopeless?
I hardly know anything about Hopeless. I know a little bit about Leo. Leo came from the brony analyst community, even though I
Hmm.
don't know if he's a brony or not. But he was in For No Good Reason server for a while, way back in 2017, I think it was.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the first time I bumped into that guy was is that I was invited into For No Good Reason server because we were going to harass a pedophile named Toon Critic.
Mhm.
And For No Good Reason did stream this. Like, it played out just like your modern day Senate calls, except for it's like way proto Senate. But I think that stream is dead now. I couldn't find any archives of it because For No Good Reason's dead.
Yeah. 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 Before we get into all this, summarize yourself, Dylan. What? Like, who are you? Like, because you kind of just popped in here out of nowhere. Apparently, you have a lot of history in this community.
I have a lot of history on the internet in general and in a lot of communities. I would say that I'm someone who's perpetually bored and used to be like terminally online. Not so much anymore. I'm only poking my head back in because,
Mhm.
dear God, is this a fucking shit show? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you have doodle tones claiming to be groomed. You have Leo taking barely 18-year-old girls into his fucking farmhouse somewhere. Like it's some wacky stuff, and
Yeah.
that's definitely made me poke my head back in. But I would say that I'm more known in the Sonic community than any other community.
Mhm.
They are definitely the community that hates me the most and the community I fucked with the longest. But
Mhm.
other than that, some people would say I'm a lol cow. Some people would say I'm a fucking drama guy. It doesn't really matter, either or, whichever you
Mhm.
want to call me.
Yeah.
I just
Leia,
say I'm a YouTuber. It was that
Leia,
simple.
can you give me like a little summary on who Doodle Tones is, real
So
quick?
Yes, the shit
Doodle
starter. That's correct. That's a good one.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's start with that. Leia, go ahead.
so Doodle Tones is a controversial figure right now that's under my radar specifically because they have decided to put their foot in their mouth and just have diarrhea of the mouth and defend Lio Convoy. I
Mhm.
started taking notice of Doodle Tones because they made a video and self-admitted that they didn't watch like the full or they don't know the full story of the Lio Peaches Rosa Ray Ramsey call and
Mhm.
made a defense. Doodle Tones is a specific locale where they have at the age of 18, and this is an admission on their end, at the age of 18 or even before the age of 18, maybe roughly around 16 or 17, Doodle Tones used to draw a lot of suspicious sexual, fetish kind of drawings, and they were called out for it. They became under Medicare's radar when Medicare had started to investigate, the deviant art community and all
Yeah.
of the
Thank you. All right. Thank you for bringing that up because that's where we bring in Dylan Thomas. Dylan,
Mhm,
you were a part of that, correct?
Yes. So this is how it went down, and like I heard one of the other people who did streams on this current situation mention Boonslayer as well. Boonslayer is mentioned in this. So,
mhm,
how it went down for me is that I'd been talking to Doodle Tones. I was a regular on her live stream that she would do, where she'd let randos pop in, kind of like how I've been doing here. That's what I
Mhm.
prefer to do. And she hit me up because she knew I had I think at the time it was 20,000 subs. It might have been a bit more. She hit me up and she was asking if I could do a video helping her out. And I'm like, okay, so what is it? She gives me Ephraim Josine, who's now Ephraimentator.
oh
And he made
god.
like, yeah, he made like this terrible video on her and some guy named Medicare. And I didn't know Medicare was Jim 81 Jim.
Yeah.
So I
Mhm.
did my video on Ephraim. And I'm like, okay, that's done. Ephraim's easy. He's like, you would think he's mentally challenged, but apparently he's not. He's just really, really genuinely dumb. But I
Yes.
did, I did that video. It's not a good video. It's honestly too much of a doodle kiss ass video. But when someone you know says, "Hey, can you make a video for me?" It's gonna be a little kiss assy if you actually go through it. But
Yeah.
so after that, Doodle would hit me up later, and she had an op planned. She's like, "This guy Medicare, he's messing with me. I want you for no good reason and Boonslayer to go on Twitter and start a flame war with this guy." And I still had no idea who Medicare was.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
wait. Sorry to interrupt. Are you telling me that this all started like this whole thing between Metica and for no good reason started with like doodle tones?
yes,
Oh my fucking
Doodle
god!
It's insane.
for no good reason was the Leo Convoy of back then now. Like he
Oh
was
yeah, no,
Doodle's
I'm
right-hand
familiar
man.
with Anthony.
Yeah, Doodle would get for no good reason to hop into calls and yell at people. Like the Senate is not the first server where this stuff happened. It exists all the way back to Skype.
So
This shit
that
has been going on for a long time.
so that's what Akuma was saying today is that although the Senate has supposedly fallen and people are fleeing the Senate left and right because of these recent allegations that have come out about Lio Convoy, these people are just going to join another Discord and make like
Yeah,
a Senate
almost
2.0.
definitely.
Is that like a
It
reoccurring
will
thing
reveal.
within
It
the
has-
community?
This has been going on since like all the way back before I joined the commentary community. They've always had these little servers. It used to be in Skype for years, but then it moved to Discord because I guess it's easier to cover shit up in Discord than Skype. Because in
wow.
Discord you can get bots to like mass delete shit. You can't do that in Skype, and Skype's like very basic, like, and people can dig out archives easily from Skype.
Mhm.
They went
So-
to Discord because they can hide their drama better.
So going back to Doodle Tones, just real quick, she had come to you and said, "Hey, I need you to attack this guy Jim Medeker because he's
Yes,
picking on me."
she gave me she gave me a link to his Twitter account. None of this shit exists anymore. It's on a dead fucking Skype account.
Yeah, it's
But,
okay. We believe you.
Okay, she came to me for no good reason and Boonslayer. We had like our own private little group. She started a group for us, and me and for no good reason went through with it. But her and Boonslayer chickened out, and they did not participate in the Twitter raid. So they left us to get fucking lambasted by Jim. Rightfully
wow.
so. But
I think I saw the tweet. You called him like a fucking Slenderman clone.
knockoff
or something?
Slenderman. It's all I
Yeah.
could think of because I knew nothing about the guy. I was given literally no information on him. And it's hard
Yeah.
to make fun of someone when you don't know who the fuck they are.
Well, I think it's interesting that like she approached you and was like, "Hey, attack
She
this
does
guy
this a lot.
Medeker."
She does this a lot to people.
It's interesting that she did that because from what I perceive from her lore or watching her videos, she instantly picked the fight with Medeker. Medeker was just covering deviant art, and she decided to make this video attacking Medeker, and that's how uh, she got Jim's attention. So yeah, it's super interesting that she would approach you and say,
Well,
"Hey, attack this guy for me."
this happened after Jim's video came out on her. She was telling us about it because I didn't watch Jim's video because yet again I didn't know Mr. Medeker was back. And if I had seen that video, I'd know by his voice who the fuck Jim is, and I definitely wouldn't have fucked with him.
Yeah.
That
Well-
voice is iconic. You can't fucking like hear it and not know who the fuck he is. And I didn't watch Doodle's content either. I just watched her live streams for the most part.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat says, I don't know anything about the drama. Just to summarize, there's a guy who dresses up like a lion who hunts pedophiles. He's friends with a 23-year-old art YouTuber. They're all part of this weird art commentary drama. And there's been some friction between the two because the Senate has imploded. The Senate is a stage Discord where they would
Yeah.
go to fight a bunch of people and they'd have blood sports. And it had their own ecosystem. And it's just completely imploded, basically. And now it's basically like the fall of the Senate and the fall of the art community. It's very hard
It's
to
like
understand.
the fall of Rome.
It's
Something
yeah.
interesting I heard Leo say in one of the leaks is when talking about if the Senate was going to be closed down, he said, if Doodle tells me to do it, I would.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I'm like, are you really working for Doodle? Like, it'll be sad if that's the case.
So
Like,
now Doodle Tones is the new Peaches.
or
Oh
has
my
always been
gosh.
Peaches. Doodle is like a mastermind behind the scenes. She's always been playing this 8D chess shit.
So
And
just to
she'll try to make sure you don't know about it publicly so then she can just slink away when everyone else gets murdered.
So just to clarify to everyone, Doodle Tones is a person that is closely related to Lao Convoy. Doodle Tones is a degenerate. They are also a locale. You know, Medicare picks on them or used to
Apparently
pick
they
on them.
have like a diaper fetish, right?
They do have a diaper
They
fetish.
do.
Yes.
It is still an ongoing thing, yes.
And they're always nowadays, they're like, I don't know why I have to keep addressing this, but I'll keep addressing this. This is how the diaper fetish happened. Their grandma found out about this diaper fetish supposedly, and the grandma was like, "Oh, yeah, you're mentally ill." So now Doodle Tones likes to float around the internet and say, "I don't have the support of my family members either." And it's like,
She has
man, if I
full
was the
support of her
grandma.
family member, she's a liar. She
Yeah.
still lives with her family, and like she has no intention to move out. Like she has a great family who have been taking care of her for like decades. Like she's lying.
Wow.
Like the not having support of is I don't want to see you in diapers. Like that is those are two completely different things.
I mean, if I was a grandma and my grandchild had a diaper fetish, I would seriously question their sanity. I'm sure anybody else would say that too.
I mean,
So
she lives like a slob. Like her room's a mess. She's posted pics of it before. Her like whenever she posts pictures, it looks like she never showers. Like I don't think her opinion is any opinion anyone should take too strongly.
yeah.
So
So
so are they
oh,
s-
go ahead.
they and if you I get a little lost sometimes, so I just need a little reminding. Are they still siding with Leo Convoy at this point?
Yes,
Yes.
the Senate
Okay.
is a SCC server. Like it's SCC and ArtCC.
Yeah. So
So
Leo stays with Doodle stays with Leo is what
Doodle
you're
is
saying.
the top dog of the SCC of the
Yeah.
slideshow commentary community. It was named by her.
I never knew what that meant. Finally. I was
It's
too
it's
afraid.
slideshow because most of them
it's
used Windows Movie Maker, and Doodle made her first videos on Windows Movie Maker.
it's
And
so
Yeah.
because they have
dumb.
random characters sliding across the screen, they call it slideshow commentary.
Like
Gotcha.
like that's just so weird because we're just like the commentary community. I had
Well,
no idea. I
that's a
had no
funny
idea there
story.
was a slideshow commentary community, and
This
all
is
your
kind of
videos have to be a slideshow in order to be part of it. It's so
I
crazy.
don't
It's
think that's the
dumb.
case. I think it's just for her. I think like for as far as I know, it's suck up to Doodle and don't be a bully, and you can be in the slideshow commentary community. There are
Yeah.
people who make commentaries on their cell phones, and they're in the commentary community, Doodle's commentary community.
So Matt, to follow up on your question, I
Mhm.
did poke Doodle Tones a little bit because they made this dumb video that put the foot in their mouth, right? And
Mhm.
they just blindly defend Lio Convoy. And I ridiculed them and called him a degenerate on my live stream. So I wanted to know what their thoughts were today. And they didn't have much to say, that they were just going to wait and see what Lio has to
You know, it
say
goes
in
deeper than
order
just the
to.
diaper stuff, right?
What's up?
You know, it goes deeper than the diaper stuff, the role play stuff she was into.
Yeah,
It,
was it with like minors as well?
it's age
Well,
regression. She does a
Oh, age
lot of
regression.
age regression stuff where she pretends that she's being dumbed down to being a child. And a lot of her fan fictions involve people who have the brain of a child or the intellectual capacity of a child. And then also, they sometimes get physically warped into becoming a child.
Yeah,
And
Right.
quite
so
a
it's
few of
kind
them
of like
are sexual.
it's the same kind of stuff that Peaches does.
Yes, her and Peaches do have similar interest in mind, except for I don't think Peaches has ever said anything about diapers.
So it's like a reoccurring kind of thing
It's just
within
something
that
they have in
community.
common with the age regression for sure.
So I have a
Yeah.
question for you. A, we've noticed as like from commentary looking into this kind of situation, a lot of people, and Matt said this on his last live stream, a lot of people are very much saying I was groomed as like a reason as to why they did this shitty kind of thing.
So,
Is that a normal thing within the art commentary community?
well, when I first joined the not art commentary, when I first joined the slideshow commentary community, um, they weren't special snowflakes then, but they were starting to become it. And after Doodle got like slapped down by Jim, Doodle like completely switched from being super edgy to being super liberal. So it kind
Mhm.
of slowly started to lean that way, where victimhood got you credibility, and it slowly became to where people wanted to have some big dramatic thing in their backstory. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't say that specifically grooming is one people go with a lot, but I will say that there are tons more grooming cases that have not been covered by big YouTubers that happen in these communities that probably won't ever be covered and are deleted because people's channels get taken away. And there are more wannabe predator hunters and people within the inner circle that get outed for being predators.
So,
So it's a reoccurring thing, like
so
predators in those communities because there are so many kids there.
yeah. So you think the victim status is kind of idolized on
To a
their neck of the
degree,
woods?
I think it's
Uh
just another thing to add to a debate because they don't like actually debating people. They want to have an easy win. And if you can use "I was groomed" as a defense, that's kind of like a catch-all, because you can't argue against grooming, because most people don't want to argue against grooming. But
Yeah.
if you were to argue against grooming, Peaches has showed zero proof that she's ever been groomed besides "trust me, bro." And Doodle's proof of being groomed is 2 months before she turned 18, she was role playing with some fat guy in the middle of nowhere, and they never met up, and they never exchanged lewd or nude photos. They just role played.
Dylan, how do you know all this, by the way?
The fat guy stuff, Doodle
Just
talked
every-
about it in a video.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
she
you-
uploaded a video about it like
They're-
a few weeks ago.
They're very open. They like Doodles will always address it, and then
And
every
Peaches
time.
uploaded a video too, but she deleted it. Peaches
Yeah.
uploaded a video when she got backlash for defending Cosmodor, I think it was, a pedophile. And then she came out with saying, "Well, guys, it's okay. I was groomed. I defended him because he reminded me of my groomer." Like,
Mhm.
if I'm not mistaking how that situation went down.
So
But
that's
Peaches never showed proof that she was groomed ever.
So that's like a reoccurring theme that I'm seeing from the Senate, where these controversial figures associated with Lio, and Lio even takes it to the point where he's like calling them close friends, and then it turns out these people are predators. With Coyote Lovely or Vita specifically being a predator, and those two people came specifically from the Senate. Do you think Lio just has a poor choice in judgment, or
I say birds of a feather flock together. That's what keeps fucking happening.
ooh,
It's
that's
because all these people, they hang out in an unmoderated community full of children. And you shouldn't be shocked that anybody who is involved in a call where they say they're going to film a minor being sexually assaulted would end up being a creep.
yeah.
And Vito was in that call for no good reason, was in that call. And who was the main one suggesting it? Fucking Leo Convoy. It is not hard to fucking figure it out. No one wants to be the asshole and say, wait a second. Wait a second, guys. This
Yeah.
seems pretty bad.
Yeah, someone Milltown in the chat says, "Wow, and to think I thought our community was fucked." Yeah, no, this community is beyond repair at this point. Like there's no I've never seen anything like this where it just keeps getting more and more degenerate.
Every time these big figureheads have a right-hand man, they end up I shit you not, they end up getting rid of them most of the time because they end up being a pedophile. It's
Mhm.
happened for years. Like literal years. You can go back year by year and find the big pedophile outed that year in their community.
It's
It
Yeah.
keeps
insane.
happening over and over again. And
Yeah,
they'll
no.
argue about how
I've got,
slurs and bullies are the problem, but no, it's the fucking pedophiles in your community.
Yeah. Go ahead, Beckett.
So I've well, digging through this because I think what interests me is I've kind of watched this community well since Jim covered it, and not really known how connected it was because I covered Toon Critic, I've covered Orchard, I've covered lots of random people over the years, and looked into them both as a lurker and a content creator. So it's kind of interesting to see this. One thing that is kind of surprising though is the cognitive dissonance. Now, I said yesterday that the Supreme Court's just going to be the same thing. That's all it is. It's just taking all the mods and all the community members, other than Lio, and being like, "Don't worry, guys, this time we'll do it right." But how can any of these people believe this shit? Like we've heard on the call that Peach is leaked with Jibs, that Lio was like, the grooming's not an excuse. It doesn't matter that happened to you. It doesn't matter that you were a minor. You should have known better. Tears Jibs apart, but when it comes to defending Peaches, Lio is full on like, "Oh no, she was groomed, guys." So
Yeah.
how do they get over that cognitive dissonance? Do you think, or do you just think they don't care?
I think the thing is they all want to believe in the power of friendship, and they're also desperately wanting to believe that everything is good versus evil and that good will prevail and that they're the good guys. But I think I heard Cope and Seeds say this over and over again. It's
That would be me.
you look oh
Hi.
hi. I
Hey,
heard
Dan.
you say this over and over again, where it's like they're looking down at themselves and they have skulls all over their outfits, and they're like, "Are we the baddies?"
Yeah.
That's literally it. They want to believe they're in some type of fairy tale land where they're the good guys fighting the good fight, but they're constantly doing fucked up shit and justifying fucked up shit they're doing.
Yeah.
And usually their conflicts always end with, we've kicked this guy out of the community, we're saved, and then the rainbows come back out and they're all good guys again. But no, it's never fixed. And like one of the biggest reasons why it's never fixed is they still have fucking doodle tones. Like I
Mhm.
know I'm known as like a fucking A-log for doodle tones, but I shit you not, I said this fucking 8 years ago. I said, kick doodle out of your community. If you do not kick doodle out of your community will fall to ruins and everything will be fucked and it will be on you. And that was to Ryan Rhino Mills, the former head of the slideshow commentary community. The guy who fucking doodle ousted from the spot.
So,
So
I-
go
okay.
ahead, Beckett.
Sorry, no, I just want to run one other thing because I want to test this theory on people who kind of know the community. Because the more I watch of this, as much as Leo is a cunt and fuck him, but I listen to the calls Peaches uploaded. I look at the way they operate, and my firm opinion is that Peaches is the one who had her hands on the reins with Leo. She was the driving force. We've seen the leaked DMs between Peaches and Jordan. We've seen the leaked stuff from the Glitch Shell server where Peaches is talking about Leo's wife being made to sit down and apologize to Peaches.
Mhm.
And while Leo's like in that call with the mods, he's like, I know why Peaches is doing this. I know why. And it's the days, the Rosa stuff is happening, as in, those calls are getting rediscovered. So what would I'm interested whether you agree.
Oh no, I
whether,
totally
Leo's
buy
is
your
perhaps
conspiracy theory. I buy your conspiracy because I've been in. I have a unique perspective. I've been in the servers. I've done the ops. They do shit like this. They genuinely do shit like this. And if you try to say it out loud, you sound crazy. And they deny it and they delete fucking everything.
Yeah.
The ops are real. I can 100% fucking confirm that. Like I said earlier, they did ops with Medicare when he dared to shame Doodle's diapers. The ops are real. I had ops performed on me when I called out Doodle Tones for continuing to shit talk Just a Robot when she said she wouldn't, which got me kicked out of the community.
What was the
Holding
fight
Doodle
between
accountable got me kicked out of the community.
what was the fight between them and Just a Robot?
Just a Robot did a commentary on some fucking terrible video Doodle did on Pokemon, and that caused like a blood feud that they just wouldn't drop. And now Doodle
Mhm.
works for Jar as an editor. What a small fucking world.
Yeah. I even hear that Doodle Tones and Enfrom are
Oh, Ephraim. I'm
buddies.
really shocked Ephraim will
Ephraim.
be friends with Doodle. He used to suck my dick and praise me. Now he's friends with Doodle Tones and participating in the thing that he said he hated 8 years ago. What
Yeah.
a fucking world we live in. Like, you can find videos of him, like, literally saying, and then there's Dylan Thomas. Dylan Thomas made this really good video. Like, you can find him doing this shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like what people will say about you, Dylan, in the sense that they'll probably say something like, "Oh, this guy's just angry. This
Oh,
guy got
yeah,
kicked
it's
out
gonna
of the
be that. It's
community."
gonna be that. That's fair.
Like, what would you say? What would you say about? Yeah, what would you say to them if they're like, "This guy's just angry. He's just mad. Just like we kicked
I
him
mean,
out." And
to a degree, it's fair. I had issues with them. I decided to troll them for years, and then I fucked off. And if you want to say that I was mad at them, that's a fair thing to say.
right. Okay, go ahead, Leigh.
I blinked out right there. I'm sorry. So it's interesting that you say Ephraim because he kind of seems to be behind Lio Convoy as well. Tell us about your interactions with Ephraim specifically.
Okay, so this is gonna take a bit of context. So, you know how Akumu presents himself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, back in my time, there was a different Akumu. His name was Dark Scythe, and he sounded just like Akumu. He acted just like Akumu. He has now transitioned. I don't remember.
Jesus Christ, they
Um,
always do.
yeah. He
You
was
think
really
Akuma will be a different gender in 5 years?
I
he
hope
was
not.
really against trans people, and then it turned out he was like closeted trans. I can't remember his name though now, but he hates me now too because basically he was forming his own little commentary group called Death, and it was going to be an acronym. I don't remember what it stood for,
Mhm.
but at the time I had issues with Doodle, and we had just had our falling out. And I hit him up and I'm like, hey, we could take this death idea and fucking do better shit with it. So instead of it being a commentary group, it was a trolling group. And our goal was to drive Doodle Tones fucking insane and get her to leave the internet. And when we were doing that, one of the ops we had was called like counter ops, where we would have like a bunch of like really slow-minded, not too up there people join the alt CC group, which the alt CC group is the group we made to fuck with Doodle Tones.
Hmm.
We called it alt CC because Dark Sice Words fucking well, I came up with the name, but his justification for it is that um liberals don't like the alt-right and it's an alternative commentary group, so
Oh,
he liked
how
the name.
clever.
Yeah, he was an edgy man. But one of the ops we had was getting a bunch of people into the group and convincing them that they were alt CC, so they'd run around and just piss off Doodle Tones while we worked on our videos to make fun of her and her friends. And
Man.
Efrom was one of those people.
Hmm.
He joined the alt CC for like I think 2 months.
Hmm.
Him, Borg Productions or Berg Productions, I don't remember how to say his name. And fuck, I don't remember who else it was. It was like, oh yeah, Conundrum. That was one of the people who got called out recently by fucking what's his
Lio.
face, Lio. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was in the alt CC group too, which is probably why he was trying to side with fucking Akumu, because Akumu reminds him of Dark Scythe.
Well,
But
that's so interesting that like Lio is calling out Conundrum, and Conundrum has been participated in the alt CC, and it's like,
Doodle's probably
Lio,
afraid
are
of a
you
new
really
old
surprised by
CC
this?
forming. Doodle is paranoid as fuck, and she's probably afraid of like a new alt CC forming because she thinks everyone is out to get her. And
So
I'm I'm kind of partially.
I mean,
thinking
they are.
yeah, so as of a few days ago, in a video that I was watching by Doodletone, she's like mentioning the alt CC.
Yes, it was a trolling group that I formed back in 2018, and the main goal was to chase Doodle off the internet.
Why
And
was that?
Wow.
Why?
because Doodle kept fucking up the commentary community. Everyone wanted her fucking gone, and she just kept pushing these liberal ideas and getting the worst people in the community. And that was kind of like the last stand to save the commentary community. And we failed. We
Yeah.
failed because I got fucking trolls remorse, and that was really when I dipped out of trolling because I bullied someone into crying on stream, and I felt really bad for the guy. So I kind of just fucked off, and I ended up leaving that group. And the alt CC kind of faded, and then people have told legends of it being a true group, an honest group that fought for the betterment of everyone. And it's like, no, we we were a bunch of assholes who hated Doodle Tones. We were a bunch of assholes who hated Doodle Tones. There was no good ambitions or
Well,
good.
how big were you at that point in 2018?
Me, I would say anywhere between 15,000 to 20,000 subs.
What's the
give or take.
mindset there when you actually have something to lose and you're
I
going
had
around
nothing to
trolling?
lose. That was on alt account.
Well,
That was on DHT commentaries.
Okay, well, you had a YouTube account to lose if people found out what you were doing. So what's the mindset of that risk of like doing these ops, knowing that you could lose your channel or at least be canceled or whatever?
I mean,
Like,
I was a troll on both accounts at the time, so there was really nothing to lose.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say if anything, like I became nicer when I was being a commentator with Doodle and them, and then I kind of got worse after I quit talking to Doodle and I doubled down on the fucking trolling shit.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but that's what the old CC is. It's a non-existent commentary group that was just made to troll and harass Doodle. And there was 2 big peak events that happened that like drove Doodle crazy. There was one night where he's gonna be upset that I mentioned this because he's a nice guy. He did nothing wrong, but Manga Common. Manga
We-
Common was fucking wasted. I knew this guy in real life. He was really cool. He's a chill guy. But Manga Common was wasted in VC. And I was talking about fucking shit that was going on. He's like, you know what, Dylan? I'll do a stream right now. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, we'll stream right now. So we do this like big stream. And the goal of the stream was to get Doodle's fans in there and get them to defend her and change our minds about Doodle Tones. And I shit you not, by the end of it, all of her friends who we brought on ended up shit talking her and agreeing with us that she sucked.
Oh,
And
wow.
when she woke up the next day, she's like, "You guys did this on purpose. You did this right when it was my bedtime." And I'm like, "I don't know when you sleep. How am I supposed to know when you sleep? We tried calling you. I fucking called her like 80 times. I guess she turned off Skype when she was sleeping." But she got really upset about that. And then the other one was when I fucking presented to everyone in her community the diaper role play shit. Because people knew that she did diaper art, but no one knew that she did diaper role plays.
Mhm.
And we did a whole stream reading the diaper role plays out. And during that stream, one of the idiots who I was streaming with, fucking, when I went to take a bathroom break, they started saying Doodle's a pedophile. And when I got back, I'm like, don't fucking say that shit. Like, I defended Doodle hardcore. I'm like, don't call her a pedophile. We don't have any proof she's a pedophile. She's a fucking weirdo, freak, degenerate, but pedophile has like strong connotations to it. That's life ruination. Don't fucking do that.
Yeah.
So Doodle still fucking acts like that was like the most traumatizing event of her life, but I defended her in that stream. It's just I think it's bullshit that she continues to say that she doesn't have a diaper fetish or never had a diaper fetish and will continue to double down, cope and seethe about it. Like this new defense of I was groomed into having a diaper fetish is fucking bullshit. And I think that that's the main reason why I've noticed the fucking community and even doing the show today is because Doodle was not fucking groomed.
Well,
If you if you call what happened to Doodle grooming, grooming has a extremely loose definition now.
well, Akumo debunked it in one of his videos where he was pointing out Doodle Tones was explaining when she met the groomer,
Yeah,
Alex, I think that's their specific name. And it was like 2 years after Doodle Tones started the age
doing the yeah.
regression drawings and the role play
And then
and the diaper
years
fetish.
she did it years after that too. And she
Yeah.
was still liking diaper art all the way up until like 20, 2018, 2020. Like she
Yeah.
was still liking diaper art on her secondary account.
There's even that infamous thread that she posted somewhere. I don't remember the specific website where she posted, "Oh, I'm leaving the role play community or the
Yeah,
deviant art community because you guys say I suck because I keep role playing with diaper fetish." And that's just like, holy shit. Do you not have any humbleness? Like,
the
do you
thing
have
is like I've heard some people say some gross shit and I've heard some people like some gross shit. I
Mhm.
could get over Doodle Tones having a diaper fetish. She's no different than Richard Kuda then. But like she won't admit to it and she'll double down and do ops to fucking cover up the diaper fetish shit and fuck
Yeah.
over other people to cover up her diaper fetish shit. And it's like just fucking admit you like diapers, god damn it.
Yeah.
Mm.
She would be
Um,
no different than the Starbucks barista that does freaky shit that went viral on Twitter a few months ago, where they were doing freaky shit in diapers in the closed Starbucks. So yeah, you make a good point right there.
Yeah, I don't think like she has a very liberal audience too. I don't think any of them would care if she just fully admitted I had a diaper fetish. It's something I grew out of. It's no longer something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
But
mhm.
it's just always lying in ops, and that seems to be the go-to. And I think that when it came to Peaches, she just gave Doodle Tones that play card of go say you were groomed because it worked for me. Or
Mhm.
maybe Leo gave her that card because of how well it worked with Peaches. And I
Yeah.
think it's fucking stupid and it's insulting to anyone who's actually groomed who doesn't fucking do it for pity points on the internet.
It's definitely invalidating victims, and I specifically feel that's kind of disgusting.
It is
Um,
extremely.
Definitely with Peach's approach today, where or the
Did you
approach with
hear
everything.
you heard that shit where like she fucking hopped into the call with fucking Leo in her baby voice, and then the second
Yeah.
he didn't fucking pay attention to her, she switched to the cunt voice. And I'm gonna call
Yeah.
Mhm.
it that, the cunt voice. Like
It,
she's faking it. She's like fucking plus 10 manipulation.
or
Like she's
even
faking it all.
even doing the waterworks. Like, I know some people believe that she's crying when she's crying in the call,
I don't
but
fucking buy it. I'm gonna cry right when someone's recording. Oh yeah, fucking good.
well,
That's convenient.
the particular conversation that her and Lio were having was that it wasn't super high energy on Lio's end, where Lio,
It's because
the
he
Lio
cared
that you
about her.
see,
He
yeah,
was stupid and he actually developed feelings for her.
the Lio that you see talking to Peaches is definitely the Lio that you don't see when berating Rosa Ray Ramsey for 4 hours, or going at Raven and trying to figure out what their disability is, to try and figure out, oh,
Okay,
well,
gotcha. Yeah.
how can I abuse you, or how can I be mean to you, or how
And
much do I need to be mean to
you can
you?
tell the optics in the situation when Hopeless Peaches comes in to stop Leo. She's thinking of Rosa
Yeah.
during that. Yeah,
Have
like
I know you guys have watched that fucking Rosa call like a billion fucking times now. Was Doodle in that call?
I did not hear Doodle tones in that
Beckett,
call.
do you know?
I don't think I heard Doodle.
Okay, 'cause I
Yeah.
know Doodle was in some of the calls. I just don't remember if she was in that one in particular.
I don't think Doodle Tones was
I
in
know
that
Ponder
call.
came in there to finally talk some sense into all those fucking people. She was
Yeah.
always like the voice of reason for Doodle's community.
Well, so there's some controversy surrounding Ponder, because it seems like Ponder was more than happy to voice their opinions when it came to the Rosa Ray Ramsey call towards the end, because Harley had questions as well, and they were starting to push back on Lio. And it seems like Ponder's kind of just being quiet nowadays, and um, people are wondering if Ponder is going to silently leave the Senate Discord and just not say anything.
Well, the thing with Ponders is that she, despite how she acts online, she's actually a pretty soft and reserved person in real life. She doesn't really go out and seek conflicts with people. So chances are is that she's just trying to find a way to settle this
real
without
quick,
having to.
because there's a lot of names being set out, and a lot of people are not that are outside the art commentary community are not going to know who's Ponder.
The main figurehead of the art commentary community.
How are they the
Ponder-
main? How are they the main figurehead?
She is the most popular one as far as I'm aware of, or at
Okay.
least was the most popular last time I checked. She joined it back when it was the DeviantArt ranting community, and then it slowly transitioned into becoming the art commentary community.
Right.
Yeah,
So
Ponder's Rocket. And they are also, I believe, a Senate Discord mod as well.
I doubt she's very active in there. Like I said, she's not really one for fisticuffs, regardless of what her character shows in videos. She's really not one to perform in this type of stuff. And I know because she's been in like all these groups with Doodle and she hardly ever participated.
well, she's probably got a lot to lose. So
I think it's just she kind of looks down on it to where like
Mhm.
she doesn't do petty stuff like that as often. She was like the only person besides me who was giving Spockter a chance back when he got exposed the first time, which I was one of the people who was pushing for the commentary community to defend Spockter because they were going to throw him under the bus originally. All of them. They had already started writing scripts, and none of those fuckers will ever give me credit, but I went around and told them to fucking defend Spockter.
So I'm not familiar with Spockter. I've seen their name.
Oh, he's a creep now for sure, but back then he wasn't. He got outed for having like CP on a flash drive that he saved from when he was a minor.
Shocking.
Yeah. He got
Why
like
is that
nudes. He got nudes when
something-
he was a minor from other minors, and then he saved them on a flash drive like a fucking weirdo.
Dylan, what's the
Oh,
worst thing
that-
you've ever done in this community? Are we gonna find out you did some weird shit too?
Oh fuck no. No, I'm pretty normal when it comes to real life stuff. All the girls I've dated have been 18 or above. Fucking all the girls I've dated have been co-hosts on my streams. They're very public figures. I show them off. I fucking act very nice and cutesy with them. I don't participate in that type of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like wake up tomorrow and be like, "You guys had a pedophile on your stream."
No,
So-
fuck no.
So even with Coyote Lovely, somebody that Lio considered a close friend up until like a year ago or a few months ago,
Oh,
I
I
think
know
a year
Jester
ago,
Robot.
actually. Coyote Lovely attempted to have internet relations to Hypnotist Sappho, and Hypnotist
Wait,
Sappho.
that name sounds familiar.
Yes,
Wait,
Hypnotist Sappho was covered by Turkey
The
Tom
fucking zoo file.
because yes, they were outed as wanting to fuck their dog, and they were
Oh shit.
it's-
doing
Turkey Tom-
inappropriate things with minors on the internet, like with hypnotism.
Turkey Tom is the most successful person to come out of our old community, and no one acknowledges that Turkey Tom and Ellis Mark were a part of our community. They were. They were way back when. They had terribly drawn avatars and hadn't hit puberty, but they all started in the same place.
Oh wow, I didn't even know Turkey Tom.
Well, I did. Well, yeah, he was like is
He
that
was
the
a
slideshow?
bandwagon. He was a
Was that the-
bandwagon for Doodle Tones.
Was that the slideshow thing where like
Yeah,
it's like the art?
It was a
yeah.
slideshow commentary
Yeah.
community.
And you're saying Tom was connected to Doodle Tones?
Doodle Tones turned him into a bandwagon, which means that one person makes a video and then all of the followers who are part of the hive mind make even worse videos on the person. And it mostly goes, I agree with the first person. That's usually how
wow.
it goes.
Yeah, that's what we do. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we
They
do it with
actually call
we
it-
do it with Tom.
Yeah.
They call it bandwagons though in the commentary community. Like that's not a derogatory term. In Doodle's commentary community, they call it bandwagons, and they'll make like playlists of like 80 people who you've never fucking heard of covering one person in one video into the dirt.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's like, and if you respond, there will be 80 more videos.
So it's very hive mind mentality.
Yeah, lowest common denominator shit with them, at least back when I was involved. Like, one of the biggest controversies I got involved with in Doodle's community is Doodle and them gave me a lot of shit because I wanted to do videos where I had a still frame on the screen for the whole time instead of doing sliding stills. And they called it one image gate, where I just wanted to have one fucking image on the screen, and they acted like it was a whole big fucking debacle.
Yeah.
Shit.
It actually just doesn't surprise me that happened to you.
They had
because-
like a whole multi-year arc where they argued if people should fucking do their videos in 4:3 or 16:9, and it was called Black Borders Matter.
Oh my god.
yeah. Okay. So
fucking
this is
cringe.
this is a thing. Every controversy from this fucking community is there's like no middle ground. There is either hey, you traced art, or you had like one image on screen, or you said a bad thing, you were mean, or hey, you groomed kids. There's like no fucking in between, and all of these are treated with the same level of severity. I don't understand how
Yeah.
any of you have remained sane. It's fucking infuriating.
See, that's the thing, is like Doodle was always barely holding on to her sanity in the commentary community, and it's probably still the same thing. Like, she was constantly having mental breakdowns, constantly banning everyone from her like Skype groups, like saying everyone was a traitor when someone would leak stuff. Like,
Oh my
and they
God.
always leak stuff because none of them trust each other.
I can't blame them. I want to
Yeah.
I want to circle back really quickly because there's something, because the Raven call came up, and I want your read on something, because I listened to these calls, and one thing that occurred to me is, well, Lio sounds very different. You know, he's very downtrodden and sounds like shit. The person who doesn't is Peaches. Peaches sounds like every other call Peaches is in. They're exactly the same. They are, you know, very forceful, really going for like the throat as much as possible, and this is an optics check. Is anyone buying this?
From
I mean,
what
some
I
people must be.
understand, from what I understand, Mean Girls Peaches is the real Peaches. And
Yeah.
every time she acts cutesy or innocent or a victim is a fucking game. The fucking cunt Peaches is real Peaches. And she'll do anything to make people like her. She did like this during her video where she talks about being groomed. She has like a whole section where she's like, I was bullied in school and they all made fun of me and I didn't want that to happen again. It's like, that's perfect justification why you're always in defense mode. Like, you
Mm.
don't want to be ridiculed again. But like, if you weren't a cunt, you wouldn't be. Like,
yeah.
she's an insecure cunt and she always leaves herself open by doing terrible things. And the Rosa shit is totally in her character. She is lying if she says it isn't. Like, this is not something Leo groomed her into. She was always like this beforehand.
I'm just surprised at the fact that she invalidates other other people's victim status.
They all
Hence,
invalidate each other. Doodle has called people fake trans people before. It's not a shock.
what?
Yeah,
Oh my
Doodle fucking called
goodness.
people fake trans people and called them Doodle clones back during the commentary days.
That's
Because their friends all
disgusting.
started transitioning and buying the same shitty fucking voice changer, which, by the way, it's called MorphVox. It is $30. You can still buy it.
Guys,
And
go buy it.
she
Now
has it
recording
set
chat.
on either the woman setting or the child setting, either or. And it is an honestly terrible voice changer.
It's just it's crazy. It just seeing this drawing that she made of Jordan, where Jordan is a victim of Vita, and Lio had Jordan live with him for a brief period of time, and things went south, and Peaches drew Jordan smelly and
That's
stinky.
Peaches. That's how she is, from what I understand. Like I said, I was out of the community when Peaches became a thing, but I almost defended her. I had an option back then. It was either make a Turkey Tom is stupid video or make defending Peaches. And I don't like Turkey Tom, so I made the Turkey Tom video.
Oh wow.
What was your
Yeah.
what was the Turkey Tom video on?
He kept calling people pedophiles unprovoked, so I made a video saying, "Hey, fucking stop doing that! Stop doing that! That's
Ooh.
not cool. Don't call." He
Does he
called
still
Mr.
do
Enter a
it?
pedophile. No, he stopped. He called
Oh.
Mr. Enter a pedophile. He went on a 4-month hiatus. I wasn't the only fucking person who called him out, but he called Mr. Enter a pedophile and Pyrocynical a pedophile in the same year, and it got him like a shit ton of hate. And I'm like, Turkey Tom, quit calling people fucking pedophiles. Like, that's a strong word, and it can get people like completely fucking ruined if you're wrong. Like, you better have full fucking proof. And with the pyro stuff, that's a fucking mess. I still to this day don't know what the fuck happened with the pyro shit. I know it's nothing admissible in court, but like I have no idea. That
So
shit's
y-
a fucking mess.
So you mentioned Mr. Enter, and recently Lio has posted a video about Rebecca, and Rebecca was a pedo that was or
Doodle
a
idolized
predator.
Mr. Enter. Doodle,
Ooh,
that's who inspired her to start doing videos, was Mr. Enter. She started doing well, not videos altogether, but like review videos. She used to have
could
a whole separate channel where she just did knockoff cartoon reviews.
could you tell us more about Mr. Enter?
He's not involved in any of this. He's completely divorced. He knows nothing about these guys. I'm sure Leo knocked on the door and he's like, "You got yourself a predator in your midst. I'll help you out." Like, I'm sure
Oh,
that fucking Mr. Enter had nothing to do with this shit. He's completely innocent.
so he kind of seems just like as a normie, just
He is.
doing his
He
own
deals with
thing.
his own trolls and his own bullies. He has nothing to do with these guys. He probably got on Doodle's radar because Doodle fucking knows the guy and idolizes him, and then she introduced Leo to him or something. Like, I wouldn't say Mr. Enter is involved. He's an innocent party.
Interesting.
I would be really shocked if Mr. Enter did ops. He is not the
No,
type.
no, I don't think he did ops. I thought it was interesting that Lio kind of collaborated with him on that specific case.
I'm sure it's because Leo just did like I used to do, where it's like, hey, I've gone around and fucking harassed these people relentlessly and got confessions out of them. Here's the audio logs or fucking screenshots. And then you just give them to the content creator and then they thank you. And then sometimes they shout you out.
So one of the things that people are kind of speculating about is that Lio was very what's good, I will do what's good for Peaches kind of mindset. Do you think that's like a normal kind of behavior where
No,
if
he
Lio
wanted
is
to fuck Peaches. I'm not accepting anything else. He wanted to fuck Peaches. There's no way in
wow.
hell that yeah, no way in hell you make your wife of multiple years apologize to some random girl on the internet if you're not trying to fuck them. No way in hell. I've seen
Yeah.
this shit ruin communities before where someone wants to fucking fuck their co-host and then they ruin everything for it. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if he was trying to fuck Peaches, but Peaches was always playing the long games. My conspiracy, I'll put on my tinfoil hat, and I don't know if fucking Beckett has like the same tinfoil hat, but
It's a good
I
hat.
think Peaches was using Leo as a pedo shield, so she wouldn't be called a pedo supporter again, because that was the thing that canceled her the previous time. And then what happens? She ends up joining a pedophile hunting community and befriends the #1 pedophile hunter.
That's a
Yeah.
very interesting take that you have.
That's what got her off
Because
YouTube the first time and supposedly made her want to kill herself, is that she
because of
got
the Toby stuff,
canceled.
right?
No, because of the Cosmodor stuff.
Oh, Cosmodor.
Yeah, she defended Cosmodor, who was a pedophile.
You bring that up.
wow.
You bring that up, Dylan. I got to bring this up. I was watching one of the videos on you. Did you have a friend that got exposed as a pedophile?
See, that's one of the things that I really shouldn't talk about because I don't have permission from the people involved.
Okay.
Yes, I did, and yes, it took a long time to expose him, but it was a whole legal process, and I did report him to the police, and I
Okay.
did report him to every community he was in to prevent him from
Okay.
hurting kids.
Okay. Yeah. No. I just you brought this up, so I couldn't.
Yeah,
I
if
had
I
to at
had
least ask about that.
if I had the victim's permission again, then yes, I'd go full into context with Jessie Pajamas. And if she
Mhm.
ever watches this and hits me up, then yeah, I'd be fine with talking about it. But I don't want to break my trust with her when she's been
Mhm.
so cooperative with me for years.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. No problem.
Yeah, because I don't like doing that. I don't like fucking like doing shit against the victim's wishes.
Mhm.
And at the time, there was points where, because she has bipolar disorder, there'd be points where she would be like, "Yes, you can do this," and then Jesse would talk to her, and then she'd be like, "No, you can't do this. He might kill himself." So it was flip floppy, and he threatened to kill himself a lot when I would talk about going to expose him publicly. But
Mhm.
no matter what, behind the scenes, I reported the guy. I've reported him to Amino, got his Amino kicked off of child groups multiple times. He never knew it was me. I got him kicked out of other public spaces that had children in it. The only places where he went that could have had minors were like furry websites that I wouldn't even
Mm.
bother to go to, apparently, like Second Life. So
Yeah.
Oh
for
gosh.
as
But
long as
the
I associated with the guy, I tried my hardest to stop him from
right.
doing anything or hurting
So just
anyone.
to reiterate, the criticism from what I've seen in the video is you waited a little too long, and
To
and
out
you
him
would.
publicly,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, to Adam Bug. And some has said you waited until he wasn't your friend anymore to do it. But what you're
He
saying
was
is
not my friend for 4 years up until the
okay.
point when I exposed him. I
Gotcha.
continued to work with him, but he quit being my friend when he tried to fuck our co-host.
Okay.
Yeah, he tried to fuck our co-host and failed at it and ruined the whole friendship.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, because he was around a girl for the first time, and I shit you not, he's like, "I want to fuck you and impregnate you because I have to have a kid before I'm
Holy
30 or I'm gonna
shit.
kill myself." That's how he hit
Unhinged
up women.
behavior.
That's how he hit up women. "I'm gonna kill myself if I don't
Fucking
impregnate you by 30."
That is
dude.
crazy.
But
L
this is
Riz?
shit I didn't
W
say.
Riz?
This is shit I didn't say in
W
the
Riz.
video because I didn't want my video to be a hit piece on the guy. I wanted my video to be factual and straight to the point of, here's what this gross fuck has done. Here's proving that he definitively tried to and did successfully fuck children.
Mm.
I don't know.
Because
Chat, what do you guys think? Is that W Riz?
Well, not that part. Not the last part there.
But as far as I
No.
know, the only minors that he hooked up with was before he knew me, and there wasn't definitive proof that he fucked a minor until his victim came out to me, and that was after I quit being friends with him, is when
Wow.
she came out to me.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to
And
ask about that.
this is not a secret. Everyone in his community knows about it too, but they defend him. They all defend him.
In what community?
In his community, and eventually people got tired of him and flagged him off of the internet. He's not online anymore because they flagged all of his accounts to get him offline. And this
Okay.
happened before my video because everyone knew he was a fucking creep.
So he's like treated like EDP, I guess.
Yeah, he is treated
Yeah.
like EDP because he got with this trans woman, and then he was trying to get her to detransit. He got with this trans man and was trying to get her to him to detransmission, so then he could turn him into a trad wife. And it was such a stupid fucking conspiracy, a stupid idea, and that's what fucked him over in the end. He got
That's
exposed for
odd.
transphobia. The pedophile claims never stuck, but you become transphobic and everyone hates you.
Mhm.
Just interesting.
Fair
It's
enough.
interesting to hear like some people's logic behind stuff. I was because Coyote Lovely, when talking about hypnotist Sappho, he had this theory of hypnotizing pedophiles and eventually doing MK Ultra on people and seeing if they could be reformed. And Gilded has said that this is a lie. He was just clearly lying, but it's just logic. It's
I
crazy.
understand the hatred for
Insane.
me for that, and if any consolation, I gave up pedophile hunting after that. After I finally talked about that publicly, I said I no longer feel confident to do pedophile hunting shit when I didn't publicly out the guy. But like, really, publicly outing him didn't even accomplish anything because everyone already knew he was a pedophile behind the scenes. He was always monitored whenever he was in any community. And as far as I'm aware, he never successfully groomed a child in the Sonic community. It was outside of the community.
So speaking of pedophile hunting, have you been around about or have you heard about the Mama Mac stuff?
I know he's a fake LARPer. He's not a real pedophile hunter. He made up all of his pedophiles.
There kind of seems to be a trend where people are starting to call out
Yeah, I'm glad I
these
was done
internet
with pedophile
vigilantes.
hunting 3 years ago, because if I stayed on till now, I'd be really getting fucking railed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you think about that, where people are just taking a stance
Honestly,
and they're
I was
calling
gonna
out the
say this
bullshit?
earlier. I was gonna say this earlier, but I do feel a lot of shame in a way to where like the domino effects of me helping chase a brony out of the community has led to this happening. It's the domino effect and the fucking butterfly effect are honestly fucking terrifying. Like knowing that one thing you did 8 years ago led to some fat man dressed as a lion moving barely legal teenagers into his fucking house. Like
Yeah.
that's just fucked.
It's insane.
It's also fucked to be in a call with people and to associate with people and then slowly watch all of them get outed as being fucking pedophiles. It's fucking disgusting, and it happens over and over and over again. At this point, I think I can count on my fucking hand how many people aren't pedophiles rather than how many were, because I
True.
wouldn't have enough fingers.
True. It definitely is a pattern within Lio's community. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
I think
Uh,
anywhere where they allow children in the Discord servers is going to have this happen. The children should not be allowed in the Discord servers.
Yeah. Going back to like Leo Convoy and Hopeless Peaches, like what would your advice be for these two? Like what if you were in Leo's situation, what would you do?
For Leo Convoy, I would definitely say this is gonna be bad advice. Go full edgelord, ditch Doodle Tones, ditch fucking Peaches, and just go into the fucking like alt-right pedophile hunting community, like the people who hunted fucking EDP. That's where he belongs. He always wants to be transphobic. He released a script on trans people, and he was like using the wrong gender and shit privately. So he
Oh,
obviously
wow.
doesn't care. Like, I think in his newest script that got leaked, he was like calling his fucking make believe son a daughter still.
Yeah,
In
all
the
Yes.
the way
current
through,
day.
he's calling Jay she.
Yeah, he
Yes.
doesn't
Um,
believe it, obviously. He's just fucking grifting. So I say be honest with yourself and go be a fucking chud in the in the
Mhm.
alt-right sphere. I'm sure Andy Worski could use a pedophile hunter. Go become part of
Oh, that
fucking
went so well for him last time. Like,
Open folders. Don't close the folders, please.
fucking go be a part of his community and just leave the children alone. Get out of the
Yes.
communities with real children in them. And my
Yeah.
advice for Peaches would be stay off the fucking internet. Get some therapy. Like actually commit to the therapy. Because right now I have to assume it's all bullshit. Because there's no proof that Peaches tried to kill herself. There's no proof that Peaches even transitioned. That's just something Leo commented in a comment section. So I'm not even gonna believe that until
Okay, so
Peaches says.
so this one's weird in that I think there is more stuff that was happening behind the scenes, but Peaches hadn't been making content or hadn't come out openly. Because I've had other people say that this had been said to them. It was just that Lio never used it.
I'm gonna be a psychoanalyzer for a second. I think Peaches has bipolar disorder and she suffers from manic delusions. And manic delusions can make you fucking think some insane shit. And I think Peaches is suffering from that and not realizing it. And she needs to get diagnosed and she needs to get on some medication and actually commit to the therapy. And she needs to drop this fucking LARP. I've heard from some people that her grooming story was plagiarized from someone else. Like
Yeah, this is the claim. Like,
I don't know how
I think this
true
got
that
highlighted
is.
by gilded. Yeah, I still need to watch the end of that video.
I don't know how true that is, but like my thing is that if you don't have any type of proof at all to your claim, I shouldn't have to take it seriously when it's something that happened in the digital age on the internet. You're telling me you can record every fucking call with Leo Convoy, but you can't dig up one screenshot of a guy trying to groom you once?
You're triggering the chat, Dylan. They're saying don't diagnose people, please.
Okay, fine. I'm just saying.
So, but I do think, just like playing off that into a different direction, I do think it's interesting that Peaches has made the claims they have, and provided no evidence for it, as far as I can tell. That there's just none. I mean, again, it is directly contradicted by previous screenshots we've seen, for the way Lio treated her. That just doesn't seem to be the case. So
yeah, I remember where I was taking it now. The age regression shit. That's like the biggest lie. Like, that's the biggest fucking bullshit from Peaches, and it honestly disgusts me that she'd sit on here and talk to these people and get them to actually believe that at any moment she'll switch to being a baby and that she'll pretend to be a baby because that's part of her trauma. That's fucking bullshit. You can say I'm a fake doctor, you can say I'm a fake fucking psychoanalyzer or whatever, but no one fucking turns into a baby randomly. It's a joke. It's an actual clown house, and I'm not gonna fucking believe this shit. I don't care if it makes me seem like I'm not supportive or I don't listen to fucking victims or anything. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and be told that I have to say that Peaches believes she's a baby 2/3 of the week. When she calls a grown man daddy, it's because she's a fucking creep. It's not because she's a baby.
So, Beckett, to go off of what you're saying, the level of expectation coming from Lio and Peaches at the same time is just insanity to me. It's been proven she's been outed as invalidating other victims. She doesn't care about other people's stories. She doesn't care about other people's trauma. And yet we're supposed to care about hers, or we're supposed to take her grooming into consideration when it comes to the wrongdoing of what Peaches does. Or Lio would like us to believe that Peaches is just completely innocent, and Jordan and everybody else is just attacking Peaches because it's just a dog pile.
I say out of everything, if you needed the biggest fucking smoking gun that Peaches is a perpetual liar, it's the fact that as soon as she saw it beneficial to throw Leo Convoy under the bus, he wasn't just someone who was mean or argumentative or someone who she doesn't want to associate. He's an abuser, and she even likens him to being like her groomer. It's fucked. Like,
I will also say, I think it's interesting that in the document that Matt read, Peaches is saying, I was never close with you. I'm not close with you. I wish you would stop using me, using my name. And it's as of in that same document where Lio's confronting Raven on February 22nd, Peaches is directly involved. And it's
literally,
like when the Rosa Ray Ramsey call happened almost a year ago, Peaches is there directly involved. So it's like, nah, I don't think, although you would like us to believe that your relationship with Lio Convoy is distant, from the perception of everybody else and your actions, it looks like you were very close with Lio, and you're just trying to distance yourself now because shit is hitting the fan, essentially.
Like, if I'm not mistaken, I think sorry for interrupting you.
No, you're good.
I think that 4 weeks ago she was on stream fucking calling Leo daddy and saying ducky, duck, 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 duck. Like, that's not how you talk to someone you don't like.
They were playing video games
baby
together.
Talk. It's baby talk. Like, and it's not. She introduced the age regression to explain why she acted like that, so she could throw him under the fucking bus. Like, it's not genuine.
It's a tactic.
She'll make up whatever mental disorder she has to explain why she was being fucking stupid, when common sense would tell you she's fucking stupid. That's the common connector between all of this, is that she's fucking stupid. She gets outed and gets in trouble for defending a pedophile, so then she becomes a victim of grooming. She gets fucking connected for being weird and being clingy to this guy. And then she says she has age regression. She'll literally make up whatever mental disorder she has to have to get out of the situation she was in. I want to know what the mental disorder is that makes you a cunt to a mentally ill woman for 4 fucking hours. And how
Yeah.
will she explain that she has it?
That's they're sociopaths. It's insane.
Yeah,
It's
but that's not
disgusting behavior.
one of the nice ones. That's not a
Yeah.
nice mental disorder.
I wanted to point out
Very
something about the
true.
doc as well. Like the ending of that doc, Hopeless Peaches takes a swing at Omnia. So all this whole like age regression, all this, they still want to take a swing when they can. Like it's not like
I'm not respecting anyone who believes the age regression. I don't fucking care if my respect means nothing to you. Get fucked. The age regression stuff is stupid.
yeah.
That is not how age regression works. It is an actual fucking medical thing where
So Matt, to go off the Omnia thing, I did think it was interesting that he did take a jab at Omnia. Omnia has seemed to, because I've been watching their coverage, and Omnia seemed to have been completely objective in their coverage. They didn't seem to have a biased opinion. When Lio likes to say, they like to bring up that Omnia paying rent tweet as if it's serious. It kind of seems like an edgy joke, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jessica Pizzle told me something the other day where Peaches, even this decades long interaction with Omnia and this like hate train that they have with each other.
Yeah.
Peaches supposedly drew Omnia washing her hair, and they're both naked washing hair. And it's like, Peaches, this is a person that you don't like. Why are you drawing this person this kind of way? This is suspicious behavior.
it's creepy.
It's just weird.
Yeah, no, it's all this whole community needs to be taken out to the woods. Yeah, and just
the
left.
woods is where
left
Leo
there.
lives, though.
Yeah, that's what they like, Matt. Why are you giving them what they like?
Let them have let them
Guys.
be in the woods and let them dress up like animals and do their thing, and they just stay away from the rest of human.
And it
So-
is interesting because the whole Omnia or Peaches drawing Omnia washing Peaches' hair, supposedly Lio took a tipster defense when it came to that picture, and Lio defended it as because people were calling it lolicon because they were both naked.
Mhm.
And Lio decided to say, "Oh, this is chibi art style." I
You
was
wanna
just
know
like,
something
"Oh,
funny?
you're just taking a picture from you're taking a page from Tipster's book, or did Tipster take a page from Lio's book?"
You want to know something funny about him connected to Tipster?
Yeah, what's up?
You guys probably haven't gone on the Kiwi Farms page for this community. It's very inactive, but one of the things they posted is a leaked Senate thing of Leo Convoy posting lewd lolly cat girl maids in the server.
Mm.
Ugh.
And when I say
Shit.
lewd, I mean like they were full on naked, like spreading. And it
Ew.
was obviously tiny
disgusting.
underage cat girls. And he posted Transformers porn too.
Why? Literally,
Yeah.
why? That's
Yeah,
just
Why-
he's into
degenerate
lolly
stuff.
cat
Why
girls
are you
and
asking why? All
Transformers
these
porn.
people are fucking degenerates.
Ugh.
None of this should surprise you. It should
I haven't
only
heard
depress
anyone
you.
bring that shit up yet, though.
No wonder why he calls himself Lio Convoy
Yeah, he's
after
in the
the
Transformers. Yeah.
Bro,
Ugh.
Decepticon.
Do you think he
getting banged? I guess I don't know.
Ugh. I was gonna say, do you think he dresses up as a Transformer if he interacts with his wife?
No,
like
he
to
puts
see-
on the fucking lion carcass.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was like,
Right.
I hope that he wears the mask and she hates it.
I
And he'll
wanna
like
believe-
lie
Yeah.
about it, and then like
Yeah.
she'll reach up at night and kind of just feel it there in the dark, and then scream at him. That's what I want.
Also, like, I don't know how the Transformer says his name, but I've always said it as Leo because of Leo the White Lion, the fucking character who got translated to Kimba in the US. Like,
I change between. I just switch it up randomly. Sometimes it's Leo, sometimes it's Lio. I just have no consistency.
maybe the Transformers missaid that name, but the character in Transformers is directly inspired by Leo the White Lion from Jungle Emperor Leo. So I don't know why the
really?
fuck everyone says
Interesting.
Lio. Yeah,
I
you know how the Transformer has the lion head on its shoulder? That's a direct reference to Leo when he was a kid. He would wear his dead father's skin to intimidate his foes into thinking it was his dead father back from the grave.
So I think the reason why we call him Lio over here in the commentary community is because he had an interaction on this person's stream, Angry Slug, and he told us his name was Lio Convoy.
Yeah.
I think
I
he's just
just
doesn't know
call
how
it
to say
Lio
his own
Convoy because his
fucking
name is
name.
Lion. I just go Lion, Lio, Lion, whatever.
Yeah, that makes
Lie.
sense.
Yeah.
Lion. Yeah.
I'm just wondering if he missaid his name.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Anyone in the chat that wants to like call in, join the stage, raise your hand. Burn, I noticed you were saying some stuff in the chat. If you want to call in and talk to Dylan, you're welcome to. Fours, you just had your hand up for like 10 minutes. I was literally about to pull you in if you still want to call in. But yeah, I think all of this is really fucking weird. It's really fucking
do you,
weird.
buddy?
Just let it play out some more. This is some op shit from all sides. They're all fucking playing ops in this. That
Yeah.
fucking the formation of a new server immediately when the old one dies means that they prepped for this shit.
Well,
Yeah.
have you read the statements from Zach and Cosmic?
No.
Okay, so
I only
both...
watch what you guys post. I don't have time to look into this.
I read all of them in my stream yesterday. On Come and See. So they're up. They're right. So it's really interesting that Zach, who was the one who was providing sort of like Lio's strongest defense, there were people saying, "Oh, you know, I think that Lio, they might be the next adopted kid." They've jumped ship as Cosmic, and both of them talk about the Supreme Court and defecting to it. I think is the phrase Zach uses. So this is clearly planned. Like they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, we hope Lio gets."
The dramas are fucking planned. They're planned weeks in advance. That's why fucking Leo didn't do anything until Okumu's vid came out. Like everything is planned out well ahead of time for the people in the chat. Like believe it or not, I used to be in these fucking back when it was still Skype calls because that's how long ago this has been happening. They fucking plan this shit out months in advance, and they wait. They coordinate their videos to release around the same time. Like it happens. Like it sounds like some conspiracy theory shit, but it's true. They fucking do it. And Leo does command the wolves. I don't care what anyone says.
Leo does he controls the wolves.
Yes.
I fucking love that meme. It's my favorite meme from
Lio did definitely sit on the FCK logs for the same amount of time as Akumo, if not more. And
I think he could have came up with a
that's
better
telling.
Peaches defense in that whole year he had.
Oh,
Okay,
He had a
God.
whole
so
year.
the timeline is he is contacted in March by Akumu about the FCK logs. That is March 2023. He apparently the latest he could have received them is October of 2023. Interestingly, from what I can tell, around the time he does that last live stream with Peaches, which is it's very interesting. And then sort of everything starts to go downhill. Peaches uploads less. They seem to be talking less. And there's this distancing. My question to you is, do you think Lio knew this was about to happen to him?
Oh, they know. They have like I'm sure you heard this mentioned a few times. They have spies in each other's servers.
Oh no,
They
that's
all
not what
watch
I.
each other.
That's not what I mean. Do you think Lio knew that Peaches was going to throw him under the bus?
No, I don't think he would have ever suspected, and that's what made it so fucking amazing hearing it happen in real time. I'm sure he genuinely trusted and cared about her, but she didn't feel the same, and it's just so fucking. It's heart wrenching hearing it, like him going, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Peaches," and she's just like, "Fuck you, Leo."
Well,
And
I
it's
said this to Matt. Like the way he sounds is kind of like a boyfriend at the end of a relationship. You know, you do this thing where you're like, "Oh, you don't trust me. I don't know why I'm here anymore." You've got this really dejected thing. But then the other thing you do is try your best to sort of like show your value and smooth things over. You know, like that last ditch effort to save your relationship. And when I look at the Lio's videos now through that lens, I'm like, yeah, this is a dude who's desperately trying to save his relationship. This is how a boyfriend acts at the end of a relationship.
Yeah.
I think that she was dead to him the minute that she said, "Act like a man your age." Like that's when she was dead to him.
She has to have a way to come back, and I think that
It's
her
gonna be
doing
under
it
a
this
new
way.
gender identity and a new fucking name altogether, and she's gonna be like, "Hey guys, my mental delusions has caused me to create a whole new personality. This is who I always was. Woo wee." And then she's just gonna come back, and everyone's gonna forget she did anything until like some other mean bully does an exposed video, and then they're all gonna hate that guy.
Mhm.
It happens over and over again.
I hope she comes back. I hope another drama occurs because I'm gonna be there to milk her and make sure I get content out of it. So
Yeah, Leia, you've been kind of growing because of this whole art drama, huh?
I'm glad you
Yes.
guys are growing. You guys fucking deserve it. You're the first people who have like a sizable audience to ever hold these people accountable. Most people won't sift through the shit. And these guys, I swear they do it on purpose. They make it so convoluted where it's impossible to follow and people give up.
I think I'm at like 26 hours of streaming on this now.
Yeah, I know.
Not including the stuff I've done when I'm not recording.
I listen
Yeah.
to you all the time. You help me get through work for sure.
Yay.
Like I listen to all of you guys. Today was impossible though. You all fucking streamed at the same time. It was
No, it was good,
impossible. I
man.
watched you first, Cope and Seed, and then I watched fucking Leia second.
What was Kai's reaction to all of this? I know he was streaming while Cope and Steve was streaming. Did anyone actually check that out?
No,
I
was too
watched some
busy
bits of it
watching.
actually.
What was
it was short. It was just basically going over the logs, but yeah, like Kumu and I went much longer. But yeah, it was a fairly short stream. I didn't catch much of it. I sort of just checked out afterwards. But yeah, he's been popping off on Twitter. Actually, he's tweeted Omnia, or about Omnia, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. I think everyone knew that they had to go live pretty quickly when Lumi posted the first log, and everyone basically just prepped streams and fucking pulled everything together.
I can't even blame you guys. That's a fucking commendable grift. Like if Peaches just decided to fucking do her last hurrah and then leave.
Yeah.
I'm sure this was the end game of all that recording. Like Peaches leaked everything. I refuse to accept that this wasn't just a Peaches thing, because like everything was set up to make Leo look as bad as possible and her to look as good as possible. It's a fucking op. Like 100% a fucking op.
I mean,
Yeah,
this
no,
is
but-
broken containment. Chud Logic has covered Lio Convoy.
Yeah.
I don't know if people are aware of that, but
Yeah.
Chud covered it. Because someone messaged me, I was like, "Chud's stealing your content." I was like, "No, I sent Chud the picture of Lio
What
and the
live
video."
stream?
You were-
'Cause I'm
you were-
trying to find it.
Beckett, you were telling me that like Lio and these people are really paranoid that it's going to get outside of small commentary, get to Diorio and Lot Chud and all those guys.
I mean,
is there any merit to that, or is it just hypothetical?
Doodle's biggest fear is being exposed by everybody. So
if
I
it
wouldn't
reaches
doubt it.
Chud, I mean that's interesting.
Yeah, he's because he talked about him. I think he's talked about him twice now, at least briefly, because this happened and Chud read the logs on stream. From what I can tell, I only caught like a little bit of it before I had to go live.
Link it to me. I got it.
Cool. I'll drag it out, and then Chud watched the whole of Mr. Enter's video against Rebecca. So yeah, it's definitely peaking, because I mean it's a weird timing for this because it's very much in the zeitgeist because everyone's doing URR, and this is just an entire community of fucking grooming stories.
URRs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There are so many that you guys will never be able to fucking cover because all the channels involved and all the videos involved are wiped. I've seen so many of these fucking grooming things happen for like over a decade in this fucking community.
All right, I'm gonna bring in Forrest.
But hasn't didn't Chud, Beckett, and correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Chud have an interaction with Mr. Enter before?
I actually don't know.
Oh.
It's possible. I'm not. There's so much stuff, but that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I'll have a little look in.
Okay.
What's up, Forrest?
Yeah, all right. Sorry, I just wanted to come in and just elaborate on a few things. 'Cause I was listening, and I was very close to punching my monitor. To elaborate on one thing, for the call with Rosa, there were multiple calls, but Ponder didn't say much for most of them. The most infamous call that I can think of would have to be the one between Techno, Lio, and Rosa. The debate with that.
Yeah.
I think the only people who joined was, and this was after the debate, by the way, was Peaches. But I don't think Ponder joined any of the other calls for Rosa. Probably
No.
once or twice, but I
No.
could not find anything.
Ponder was just part of the 4-hour call. You are correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Second thing, this is gonna be really weird to call out, but Hopeless Peaches, for like fucking, I think like a week or two, she had an NSFW account on fucking Twitter. So like, I know what she posted, but like her the age regression shit, it feels more than just memeing. It genuinely feels like she's into that shit, and it's fucking weird.
Okay,
The first,
I just want to
Go
clarify
ahead.
very quickly. When we're talking about age regression, it's the difference between fetish play and DGLG,
Mental. Yeah.
and what Peaches is claiming. Because I saw a couple of things in chat about this. We're not saying that like Peaches is faking being into a fetish. I said this on stream myself. The way the way Peaches goes about the age regression stuff is fetish play. It's
Yeah,
not,
our point
we're saying
is-
it's not like a
yeah.
mental disorder.
Yeah.
They've not like
Wow.
broken from trauma.
Yeah, our point is that Hopeless
kink.
Peaches is using the age regression against Lio to make Lio look bad, and that
Because
they're
no, go ahead, Matt. I'm sorry.
well, no, that they're using the age regression to make Lio look bad in the sense that to make them into the victim, because if she can turn herself into like a basically a mentally 8-year-old, then that makes Lio into the evil monster who took advantage and abused Hopeless Peaches.
No, and she does it like the on and off switch.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with that,
I see.
though. Like, she says that there are calls out there of him verbally berating her and being abusive. We haven't heard those. What we
they
heard
don't
was her
seem to exist.
brutally fisting him. Like,
Yeah.
she obliterated Leo.
Well,
Yeah.
because she's recording.
She's in full control and she's able to defend herself. I refuse to accept that she was a victim to Leo.
Well, that's why she had to fucking leak Jibbs's stuff without Jibbs's consent. And,
I'm gonna
And
say this.
that's disgusting. That's disgusting. Doing that without Jibbs's permission.
I censored the voice, though, guys. It's okay.
I'm gonna say this though, genuinely, about like these fucking documents that are coming out saying they're victims of Lio. You're all fucking adults, bro. At the end of the day,
exactly.
you're not fucking victims. Like, you're old enough to like vote. You're old enough to do all this. I'm using Lio's words like against everyone in this situation. If you're old enough to vote, if you're old enough to drive, if you're old enough to think for yourself, you shouldn't be scared of some fucking random guy who dresses himself as a fucking lion on the internet.
Mhm.
You're old enough to like get off the internet and cut contact with him. You're not being abused by him. You're just too fucking stupid to realize, maybe I shouldn't like hang out with this guy. He isn't a good influence. But no, like, these fucking people are simple-minded, or I genuinely don't know, bro.
I mean,
it grinds my fucking gears.
even with the go ahead, Force.
No. I'll say this just before anyone fucking copes. If you have a genuine disorder that doesn't make you think, like, that has you take more time to process stuff, like intellectual disability, I can see that. But I don't think any of these people have that, and they're just fucking mentally just stunted in their own way. Anyway, go ahead, Leo.
Even with the adoption thing, where Lio goes around adopting grown women that don't live in the same state as him, on the internet, and he kind of treats them as his family or the perfect family. And Peaches kind of uses that against him because he has like this role play fantasy, right? Just the act of adopting somebody is just degeneracy to me. I just don't get it. I don't understand.
That is a
Somebody earlier
fetish thing.
today joked that with me, where they're like, "Oh, Leah, you can adopt me now," and I was just like, "That's a gross joke. Please don't even joke that way with me. It's
Just do the
weird."
adult thing and start a cult. That's what
Yeah.
normal people do.
So
Don't-
true, Becca.
Have your
Don't
audience
sound-
call you mommy.
I used to do trolling
No.
for a while, and I'll tell you this: there genuinely are like fetish groups that are like one guy who moves in a bunch of barely legal women, and then he has sex with them. I don't think Leo is successful. He'll never have sex with anyone. But I think that's the lifestyle he's LARPing to have. And then he just gets angry because they all leave him and they all don't fucking move in on his advances.
Did you ever talk to Lyle?
Me personally?
Yeah.
2018. I doubt he remembers me. He probably hates me, actually. I think I'd get banned from his server, so. 'cause
Wait,
he's
what
friends
was
with
what was the conversations like from your memory?
like I said before, it was just I went in there to expose Toon Critic. I knew for no good reason. I didn't know him too much.
Mm-hmm.
But he is an extension of For No Good Reason, because him, For No Good Reason, and Vita started like their own pedophile hunting group.
I mean,
Yeah.
and Jared's like gone now.
Yeah.
From what
He got
I've heard,
exposed for
they
being a
are.
creep too.
Well, from what I heard, he's not with it anymore. Like, there's actually
Yeah.
something wrong with him. Which
Oh
is
wow.
interesting. Yeah, like he's like properly just actually broken.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not even trying to meme. That's what I've been told. Because someone was like, "Oh, look, I can tell you don't like For No Good Reason. It's not worth it. Then they're not around for these reasons." I was like, "Oh."
I wouldn't doubt it, because he legitimately would go into fits of rage, and there would be no calming the guy down. He'd just be screaming for hours. So if he did go deluded, I wouldn't doubt it.
I think
feel bad for the guy.
we need to complete the arc. Toon Critic can come back in a stupid fucking red hat.
Okay, Becca, shut the fuck up. Not that far, bro. Not that far.
I think Toon Critic is dead. Like, not dead literally, but I think he's like dead from the internet. I don't think he.
Yeah, he tried to come back multiple times, didn't work.
Oh,
It
he
doesn't
did?
matter.
Okay.
I just pet hate. I fucking hate that dude. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of don't know what happens next for Lio. I think Lio's going to make a response. I really hope that he does. I think the statement I've seen is he's going to add it into the kind of Jordan J patchwork script. It'll be interesting because that script. I mean, I read it. I read it on stream.
How'd you get a hold of that? That's insane.
That's I don't reveal. Don't reveal my sources. Like any good internet journalist. No, I'm kidding. I ain't fucking journalist.
Beckett, do you find it weird that Leo is so accepting but won't say that he has a son or that he had a son? He always says daughter. Like he's supposed to be not like homophobic, but he won't say that he had a son instead of a daughter.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't think Leo gives a shit, and he has existed in an environment. Do you know what? I believe Lumi when Lumi says on that call that that they are unable to fight Lio previously in mod calls. I think the only person who could get away with it was Peaches. So because of that, Lio is never called out on anything. I think it's only when he needs to damage control that he gives any sort of a shit. So I don't find it weird at all. Because
it shows you that
like
he never migrated out of that community, like with anyone in commentary that he couldn't like boss around or bully. So he would never migrate over to our area or anything like that. Only thing he ever really did was he went on Slug Stream, and even then, like he was just being a retard moderator.
He was the least known out of his three friends, and he only is still around because all of his other friends fucking got outed and left.
Well, even on Slugstream, he was doing the megalomaniac muting, server muting Peepaw and stuff.
They did it to poor fucking Kumo. Like, that was fucked.
Oh yeah, speaking of Kumo, by the way, I just told him
Or
that
maybe
like
Slug was doing
now
it.
recording's live, so if you want to start on to say his piece on the matter, he can. I'll genuinely say this about Lumi. I've had a few experiences with them, like neither positive nor negative. But like I can understand where some people may come from, especially like it's safe to assume Lio would just shut anyone fucking down besides Peaches. I don't know why he wouldn't shut Peaches down. Actually, I would. I'm not going to say it because it's genuinely like I was in the Senate, like in the server from time to time, and I would fucking just like I'll just watch shit go down. I genuinely think the server was just absolutely just fucking abhorrent, bro. There were a lot of shit. But if Lumi tried to actively call out Lie, I guess I don't think it'd take a smart person to figure out what would happen. That being, they'd get banned from Senate. They just basically get fucked over and just seen as the bad guy. But since we're in a situation now, oh sorry, Leia, go ahead.
And that was oh okay.
Sorry, go ahead, Dylan.
I was gonna say, I don't know which one of you guys suggested this the other day, but like one of you said, if only they age gated and kicked out the children. But it's like that would be the only way to stop the predation, yes. But like, who would actually listen to these fucking losers other than children? Like, these are people who are like in their 30s now, going into their 30s. Doodle
That's actually
is
a good point.
27.
Rejects who don't have anything. Rejects who don't have anywhere else to go.
I mean,
Yeah,
and
but
the
it's
fact
mostly kids in Doodle's community for sure.
the fact that Doodle Tones is still around even after being definitely labeled as a locale and getting their ridicule over with Medicare. It's just interesting how they there's no shame. They just still float around and
She
they're
makes
still
everyone feel
here.
bad for her, and
I,
then she just weasels her way back in. That's how she's done forever. She'll
So-
outlive all of us.
So what I'd say is this: have you ever? This isn't a trap. Have you ever actually been on the website for Affinity?
Me?
No, Leia something.
Me
Oh.
no.
Okay, so
The
when
fuck
people
is
keep
that?
no,
You
bear
don't
with
want to
me.
know.
Bear with me, because I've had other people say this, like, how the fuck does this go on? How do these people not? Listen, if you spend 5 minutes on Fur Affinity, you'll understand why these people are able to stay around, because this is not like just they're not on their own. Fur Affinity is a website full of people like this. DeviantArt was full of people like this.
Still is.
One of the things, the diaper website Metica highlights still fucking exists. It's still a thing. So the reason that they're able to do this is, I mean, Doodletone's first response to Metica was, Mr. Metica, kink shaming is not my fetish. And Doodle provided this defense for inflation people. These people aren't going anywhere because they've still got like so many bastions of freakery where they can go and be degenerate together. That's why they keep coming back. And it's also, I suspect, where a lot of the like quiet networking happens. Oh yeah, guys, I've got a channel, because I saw this with Odious Hatter when I was looking into him. Like Odious Hatter is a notorious old school lolcow from Encyclopedia Dramatica, but people on the Fur Affinity forums are nice to him. Oh, yeah, this diaper shitting game you made is really great, man. It's incredible. I can't wait to play the full thing. It's fucking ridiculous. So yeah, they're not going anywhere. They're just not.
I was in the Sonic community, and people were nice to a guy named Richard Kuda, who is an open ABDL, unlike Doodle, and who openly posts pictures of him in diapers and being cared for by a mommy. Like, and people still listen to that guy and let him leave movements, and they took orders from him. So yeah, they do accept people like that.
So Forz, I have a quick question for you. You said that you were in the Senate Discord, correct?
Yeah.
Was the Senate Discord at the times like you came in and left the Senate and went back or whatever? Are they as blood sporty as that Discord has always been, or do you think it heightened when Lio took over?
It heightened when Lio took over, to be honest, because I'm gonna be dead set with you. I'm not even gonna consider that shit blood sports for 2 reasons. Okay, A, fucking dogpiling on someone isn't really blood sports when they have no chance to like fight back whatsoever. And B, it was essentially just a bunch of people going on their knees and fucking, like worshipping Lio. I don't really consider it blood sports. I consider blood sports, let's say let's say me and Matt have issues. We fucking duke it out fairly without people intervening or getting dogpiled on.
Yeah.
That's what I consider blood sports. That was never in the Senate at all. It was just dogpiling and that's it.
Do you happen to know who owns the Senate and who made it?
It was Queen Seraphina, and then she transferred ownership to Lio. By the way, Matthew, I did you the dirty work. I'm going to give everyone who's watching this some advice. Never search up for Affinity. That I need fucking further food.
You did
She
what now?
I searched for affinity, dude. I searched it. I don't want to do that shit ever again, bro.
Yeah, I know.
No.
I literally just fucking warned you. Like,
No, you didn't.
It's like that SpongeBob moment. You what?
Jesus fucking Christ! Yes, listen.
Yeah,
Cope and Steve, I did it so you don't fucking have to. Don't look for this shit. Save yourselves, okay?
Yeah, don't do it.
Fuck.
Everyone, don't
Yeah.
do it. Don't search
Okay.
for affinity. Unless you're into that. But again, we're going to bully you for it.
Yeah.
Was that
quick,
actual Kumo right there?
Oh, is Kumo here? Before I drag Kumo in, when I was reading the Google Doc, I had a question. What does AFAB mean?
Assigned female at birth.
Oh, okay. I thought it meant all
damn.
furries are bastards.
It's all right. I always forget. I
That-
actually had to be reminded by Kumo.
That was another
Doing
interesting
his shit.
thing where she writes that acronym, and it's like, why? Why are you even writing that? What context does that add? That literally adds nothing.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that term be like phobic of some degree?
I'm
Wouldn't
not
it be
quite
to
sure.
other people?
I'm not sure, I think so. Could possibly be construed that way.
It just sounds like the what was that called? The turfs? It reminds me of turf logic.
What up, Kuma?
Hi, Kumo.
What's up?
So, hey, Kumo, how did you get involved in all this Senate shit?
I was bullying a furry, and then Lio Convoy shoehorned his way in to make everything about him and his dear Peaches, and I kind of just laughed because he was twerking.
So
Then
so
he
Kumo
personally invited me to Senate because he was like, "I like you, boy. You're sharp."
He
So-
wanted to take you under his paw.
Listen to a grandpa. And
he
give
wanted
you
to be
some
the
advice.
son. He wanted him to be the son.
Well, while I was in the Senate, I was never for any of like the moral fagging, and I was like, I even like brought into question the integrity of what the fuck he was doing, and I never really got involved in like the pedo hunting, but I would pop in the bully retards.
I
Gotcha.
think it's interesting your interaction with Peaches specifically when you tell her to her face that you didn't take her seriously and she just seethed and hated you after that.
The belt line was hilarious.
Well, I really liked how I said sit on a chair of nails, and Leo went, actually.
He told you the logistics of a belt too. That fucking
Yeah.
had me almost crash my bike. That shit was fucking hilarious. He's like, actually, the belt would break, and it's like, fuck off, Leo.
I think there is. You think there's a such thing as having too much autism? I think that's the case with Leo Convoy.
Probably.
I think he's just
Well,
surrounded
let's go
himself
for
with
the
it.
let's go through the points here. He wears a lion fuck. He wears a lion mask. He fucking does toy making for his main channel. He
He
quote
loves-
unquote pedo hunts.
Yeah.
He has some random obsession with a British woman that he's never met in real life and would side with, even if his wife is involved.
He
Yeah, no,
loves
everything checks out.
Transformers so much that there's
Yeah, that's two.
Transformer
That's five.
porn.
That's
Whichever
five.
one of you gets the interview with the wife first, you are the king of this community.
All right, give me like fucking 5 days. I'll fucking do it right now.
You will be the ultra giga chat if you get the interview with his wife. I want to hear so many stories from her.
I don't want to even. I want to talk to Lio. I don't want to talk to his wife. I just want to
He'll
talk
never
to Lio.
come out. She's more likely to man up than him.
I would
No,
love
in
to
all-
have that one call with
Yeah,
Lyle.
no, in all seriousness, I don't really think we should drag the wife in for this stuff. Granted,
that's
yeah.
hopefully clearly a fucking
Yeah, I
joke.
agree.
It is. A joke. It is a joke.
So yeah, like I don't know, the conversation with Lio, because I've heard like Matt say this, and Leia said this. I think I'm the only one covering this who doesn't really want to fucking talk to him. I don't really see the point in some regards. Like, and that's not to say that no one. I don't think anyone should, but I feel like listening to those calls, the dude is so downtrodden, and I've heard from people who were in Senate when all this went down yesterday, that he was in a big group call and he just sounded downtrodden. So the question is, does Lio come out swinging or does he like slink away? Now, if he comes out swinging, it could be quite interesting. Because if anyone can get that interview, that would be interesting, like the anti-Peaches interview. But I think if it's a sit-down interview of, hey, buddy, how do you feel about what you've done? I just think it's going to be like the same. He'll either lie and say, I'm really sorry for all this shit, which is a lie. He doesn't fucking care. Or he'll tell you to fuck off. So unless you can get like the anti-Peaches interview, I don't know how
Do you
good the
think he's
content is.
smart enough to come out and play the victim towards
That's
Peaches?
what I was gonna say. You read my fucking mind. I was gonna be like, he's gonna play the victim and go full SJW and be like, guys, I've changed. I no longer say ableist bully words.
That's exactly what I think he's going to do. Actually,
I was
Yeah.
thinking more. I was thinking more like, guys, listen. I know that I'm like 38 years old, but I think Peaches manipulated me.
He
Yeah.
can't
And
go back to the trolling communities after like being owned by a British woman for like 2 years of his life and then being humiliated by her. There's no hope of him being with anyone but Doodle's community at this point.
Well, you could also predict how he might try to clap back just based on what he's already said about
Yeah.
like the other.
If he's
the other
drunk,
two
maybe he'd
adopted
clap
people-
back.
adopted adults.
I would
well,
like to. Oh,
his
go ahead.
response was
Kuma.
immediately to go in his Senate and quell his hug box, and what he ended up doing was sort of listing off everything that could be negative about the adopted adults that came out against him, and then he started listing off in detail all the nice things he's done for them, and I was like, you are not beating these abuse allegations.
No.
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
this is what he did in his script. He's
That's
just like,
obvious abuser behavior.
well, he brings up the shotgun call in the script, which is fucking wild. So for anyone who doesn't know what this is, because I didn't, when he's attacking Jay, he's like, well, Jay says they're not part of the problem, but you were in the shotgun calls. Jay will know what I'm talking about, and it's a call where in Senate they bullied somebody to the extent that they had a shotgun and were planning to unalive themselves
Oh my
in a
Oh my
call.
god.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait,
Christ.
how far did that go? Did they actually show themselves with a shotgun, or did they just say they had a shotgun?
Don't know, don't have the call, no idea. I'm
I hope it
hearing
never
this through the
surfaces. It
grapevine.
needs to be
Yeah,
lost media.
And
Jesus
he
I never want
referenced
that
that
guy to
in
have
his-
that public.
He
yeah,
referenced
he
that
references
in his
that
script.
in his script. Yeah,
That is absolutely just insanity. That's
I'm gonna go
oh my
morbid for like a second. Like, suicide's a really fucking serious topic, and for as much as Peaches uses it, fucking disgust me. But also, like, if that guy ever gets his call made public when he's that upset, it should be the end of Leo. Like, it should be the end of all of them. Like, pushing someone to fucking do that and then releasing the call.
You
Like,
know,
that's just so beyond fucked.
I think Lio is a very stupid man that eats paint chips, and I think his approach is I'm gonna play the martyr. I'm gonna make it sound like I was just such a great dad to these grown adults that can pay their own bills, but at the same time, even now, facing my allegations, I'm still going to defend Peaches and what they did to me
Are the
because
paint
I
chips-
just love them.
Are the
I'd like to
chips
hope that
left over
happens.
from the figures?
I
Is that
actually
Probably.
don't think he's going to defend Peaches. I actually don't
How
think he's
would
going to do
you?
that.
How
It
would
would
I
look
guess
so
that-
bad.
at this point?
It
I
would look
guess
so
that-
bad if he did that.
I guess that's wishful thinking on my end. I would
You
like to
can't-
believe that man is that dumb.
You can't be fucking. You can't. Well, he might be that dumb, but you can't be accused of abuse and then try to defend the person that accusing you and look good. Like there's no way out of that. Like
He
I-
has been remodded in Senate. So
Yeah, he has
yeah.
admin roles.
Yeah,
I mean, with
yeah.
everyone leaving, you kind of have to give it to him. Who else is gonna run the fucking place?
And then it was
It was run by a bot for a while.
then
That's
there
not a
was, like,
joke.
Then there was speculation that he deleted the announcements that were made about leaving the Senate server. If I'm
Bit
correct.
fucking late now.
Dude, I
yeah,
wanna
they've
start
been
a
they've been
Senate,
deleting a
bro.
lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I want to start a Senate.
Matt Pitt, the server's already a fucking Senate, all right?
Bro, I'm doing it.
You
I'm gonna
have
start the new
you
Senate.
have fucking retards arguing about the most stupidest shit.
We will
I literally
rebuild.
had a blood sports with a fucking New Yorker like an hour ago. Okay,
My new name is Tiger Pitt, and we will start the new Senate. Rar.
Lav will
Rar.
be your
Oh,
Your
actually,
daughter.
there already is a new Senate, and I came on Akumu's live stream yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday now, where I kind of sat there and bullied them for kind of like because we sat there and explained to them it was like you can't really make something like the Senate and have it last very long. Just the very nature of like morals on the internet is just like. You could come on here and say, yeah, morals, guys. I think rape is bad. You shouldn't rape people. But it's like the reality of it is nobody loves like sitting on top of a soapbox and calling people out more than pedophiles, at least in like that community. Is like naturally like what else are you going to attract? And we just kind of like listed off logically every reason why they shouldn't keep their server around. And they were like, well, I disagree. It's just like pivoting and deflecting and completely trying to avoid the like acknowledging that fact the entire time. And they got so excited when I was leaving the stream. And I was like, yeah, they're
What?
excited for a reason.
If
I
I
get
could
it,
ever,
yeah.
I have one question. Who owns the new quote unquote new Senate, QI?
It's hidden, right?
Yeah, hidden.
Who the fuck is that guy? I don't know who the fuck he.
Apparently they became okay, so I heard through the grapevine, as Beckett likes to say, that they're a good
That's
friend
funny.
of Serafina's.
Yeah.
But they've only been a Senate admin or moderator for like a couple of months and apparently don't know everything, which was funny because you guys might see the VOD later on or might see the clip, but I pressed them and because they were making all sorts of like egregious claims or like regurgitating like Senate rhetoric. And I was like, okay, but do you know about that situation? Have you looked into any of it? And they were like, no. And I was like, okay, so why do you feel so entitled to have opinions and say shit like this about people? And then they like folded.
because Leo told me, why would he lie?
Yeah, like the entire call that I was interacting with them was basically just I was essentially just pressing them the entire time and challenging everything they would say, and they didn't really like that.
Yeah, I appreciate you and fucking Akumu for actually getting this shit started. Like, I've seen so many people like you guys stand up and be like, hey, I'm gonna hold these people accountable. They fucking suck, and then they back off. And like the fact
It's
that you
not really
guys
about
withstood this
accountability
shit.
for us. We just
Well,
have
no,
a
I'm saying you
action
guys
grind.
withstood this shit as shit posters for 2 years. I don't know how you stayed involved with this for 2 fucking years without going insane.
Also, I'm sure just say a couple of things because I have to I'm gonna probably go to bed really soon because I have work at 6 in the morning. I want to just say one thing. These guys aren't apologizing because they're genuine about. They're fucking. All of them are apologizing, and all of them making these documents because they got fucking caught. If Lio was never caught for this shit, if no one fucking stood up, like we would not be here fucking talking about it. Especially for Peaches, especially for Lio. What I think Lio's gonna do, like he's someone said he sounded downtrodden. I think that was Beckett. He sounds downtrodden because fucking, his fuck buddy Peaches just left him. Like
He's mourning the death of his daughter. Give him
He
time.
lost his girlfriend.
yeah, if fella Dylan, if you say that one more time, I'm gonna slap the fuck out of you. But like Peaches, like since fucking Peaches threw him under the bus, it makes sense why he'd sound like downtrodden and shit. Like all of this, what is he gonna fucking do now on the internet? Like, I don't really think he has anything else.
Body 100 years from now in a marsh.
He'll never run out of pedophiles in that community, so he can keep going endlessly. Like, that's what he'll keep doing. Like, as long as people are stupid enough to keep entering his calls to be verbally berated by him, like, he'll always have content.
Dude, the
Yeah,
Lyle,
actually-
the Lyle
no,
stuff's so fucking weird because I've heard those calls before where he's like hunting pedophiles and it's always like some retard that has like the cognitive age of like maybe like 14.
Well, he doesn't
and-
go after the smart predators.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
might hit-
And
they might
it's always
beat him.
like, let me talk to your mother. And he's like, I'm gonna find you. And I'm gonna get your information. You're going down. And then like there's a call where like the mother starts talking to him. It's so fucking insane.
Yeah, I know
amazed
what you're
if he
talking
filed
about. I
one
know what.
police report. If fucking Leo filed one police report, I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll also say this. I know I said I'd be going, but one other thing since you mentioned it, Matthew. Yeah, no, I'm genuinely surprised how these fucking idiots just go inside the Senate call. It's like with fucking Chris Hansen. Like, does Lio have the power of just telling them to take a seat and they take a fucking seat? Like, what the fuck? Bro, just say no to the fucking call. It's not that hard.
I can answer
Or
that
Rosa.
question.
They're all
Fucking
retards.
Actually.
Rosa.
So I can answer that question because I think it's come up before. But it is literally they will grind people down through multiple messages, through like any lines that they can get to get them into the call. They will get you into a call.
They
That's their
blackmail and
determination.
threaten you too.
Yeah, like
I've seen
again,
it.
you can hit this in Jib's call. Jibs, you are going to tell us what happened and why you were still talking to Vida, because I've got your family's information and I will contact your family if you don't. That's the tactic.
trolling behavior, though. That's straight up trolling ops.
Now, wouldn't that also technically be harassment? And that
Yes.
all, yeah, like what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't think we need like all this kind of like technical stuff. I think it's quite clear what this group is.
Yeah, no,
I
I'm
think
just
we need to-
asking, I'm just saying. Okay, when I say technically, I mean what that means is I don't want to sound like a fucking retard. So that's why I'm going to say technically. But thank you for that, Beckett. Anyway, I'm going to go. Congrats, Beckett, for making it into the podcast crew. And
I'm just a dude. I'm just friends with
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
We're Cope and Seath recording now.
W.
W.
Also,
Yeah.
if Fly goes into your DMs, make sure that you say no. No means
Okay. All right. I think I'm gonna wrap things up now. I think we've reached a bit of an impasse with what we're saying. Dylan, you got anything you want to say?
Like
Or
I said, I guess my end advice would be don't fucking associate with commentators. You can't trust any of them. Don't get in these servers. Don't fucking participate in this shit. Like I heard you guys saying, don't join the new court because it's going to be as corrupt. It's always as corrupt. And everyone who joins it knows it's corrupt. It's just they
Yeah.
think that it's the good kind of corrupt, the kind that'll benefit them. And I think it's
Right.
fucking stupid. They all want to be a part of something. They all want to be a part of a community and gain favor in the community and become a figurehead. You'll never become a figurehead. Like, you'll never be up there with the people you idolize. Just fucking take the black pill, give up, and go be on your own. Don't fucking hang out with these weirdos where you
Mhm.
can be potentially groomed.
Okay.
I think it's just really fucking sad that these people sit in Discord servers all day and then fucking prey on these wannabe social influencers and act like, oh, if you do a favor for me, I'll do a favor for you and I'll help you become a star. I fucking hate this shit. It's fucking petty and it's been going on for fucking damn nearly a decade with these people. It's fucking stupid. The reason why so many kids keep getting like victimized in their community is because they keep having kids in their fucking community. A lot of the content creators are kids. A lot of the server members are kids. You can't have kids around these communities when you have a bunch of mentally ill people who will take advantage of children. You know they're in your communities, you know they're people you know, and you keep letting them alone with kids. No one
Mm.
should be shocked. No one should be like fucking like shocked Pikachu face whenever these allegations happen. They'll keep fucking happening.
You had a little bit of an inaccuracy there about the kids part.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so in the art community, in the art community's case, when they run out of kids that are getting groomed, they like to infantilize young adults.
Oh yeah, that
So they're
too.
like 18 plus. They like to infantilize them and completely like misconstrue the context of it to kind of make it sound like pedos
Jesus.
were
If these
involved.
communities wanted the fucking pedos to stop, they would age gate their communities and not allow children in their Discord servers. But I don't think we'll ever live to see a day where they do that because it's all part of the fucking grift for them. And Leo Convoy is a fucking grifter. And they'll keep using these kids for content. Because what would Doodle's channel and fucking Leo's channel would be like if they didn't have kids to bully? Like, fucking, they upload multi-hour calls where they get kids or developmentally disabled people into a call and mock them relentlessly. This has been their content for the past 2 fucking years. And
Right.
I just don't get who watches this shit. What fucking masochist sits down there and watches this shit?
Other retards who kind of enjoy watching it. I don't know.
Yeah.
We are going to be talking about the Supreme Court before too long. I can almost guarantee it.
It's a prophecy. It's going to fucking happen.
I mean, the
You can
person was
hold me to
explained.
that.
we explained to them how it was just a fucking pipe dream, and like that is sort of like morals on the internet are never going to exist, and as much as you want them to, it'll never fucking happen because you're going to have a Senate, you're going to have like a giant like hug box power vacuum where pedophiles join in the mix and sort of try to climb their way to the top to like fulfill themselves. We've seen it like how many people I can't even count anymore how many people got booted from Senate and completely ostracized from Senate because it turns out they did some fucked shit.
How many
and I
of the
think
hunters
Lio-
were corrupted?
And I think after a certain point, Lio kept it under wraps how many people he had to out from his like spaces because they did some fuck shit. Because he realized how badly it was going to reflect on him. In fact, I know a group of small commentary guys or guys and gals or whatever, who are currently working on something. They're trying to expose, I think maybe they already did it. But they were trying to expose how Lio completely covered up another one of his server members, like his archivalist, for like an alleged grooming.
Wow.
And he apparently said he filed a report, but he didn't do anything to nothing was done about it apparently.
Oh my
And he didn't do
god.
anything to like spread awareness about the person. And they found this person's new Discord account, and they discovered that they were in contact with the alleged victim.
How many of these freaks have to come from that side? Like,
It's
literally,
gonna keep
guy.
happening. There's too many kids in their fucking community. Like, there's just so many kids. And the thing is like, I have been like following that community since 2017. And every time the kids grow up, more kids come into the community because they see how low the standards are and how easy it is to get in. And there's always new kids to come into that community. And I've seen like a lot of the kids that I watched grow up in the commentary community become groomers. And then they tried to fuck kids.
Well, actually, something interesting is Lio's like personal server. I think it's called the Book of Omens. Is the server he allows minors in. Um, it's his it's his YouTube Discord. It's just not age gated like the Senate. And what usually happens is these minors will be in there for years, and then they'll turn 18 and join the Senate. Like right when they turn 18.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
It's like being allowed
and
into the bar for the first time.
Yeah, it sounds like the indoctrination of
Well, it's
Jonestown.
actually very interesting because Lio was getting confronted by another small commentator behind the scenes about like and there was screenshots and recorded testimony that I saw of one of his Discord admins sort of like uh lecturing these queer teenagers, like 16-year-olds and shit, about why they shouldn't be lesbian because God said being gay is bad.
Oh my
Um
god.
and that was one of Lio's admins in his like Book of Omens server. And apparently all that needed to be done about that was Lio just needed to demod them and ban them or whatever. Um and nothing ever nothing had to be said about them. No accountability had to be taken publicly for this shit happening in his private spaces where apparently he, according to his own standards, would have been responsible. No, none of that. Instead, it's just like, oh, I've already taken care of it.
Well, that's not part of his grift, though. If that was
Yeah.
part of his grift, he'd make a video on it. But he
Welcome to the
only covers
commentary
like
community.
predator
You'll
hunters.
take Yeah, welcome to the commentary community. You're responsible for my actions.
Yeah. One thing I'll
True.
say is, and this is something that I want everyone to fucking know about. It is not just the fucking FCK. It is not just the Senate. There are tons of these fucking groups that are public and private with minors in them. Like, these are not the only commentary spaces. There are tons of these little fringe groups. There used to be BOP. There used to be the Cloud Palace. There used to be so many other different places, and fucking people I knew were in most of them. And they had minors in those spaces, and hardly ever were the minors protected.
Right.
Like, there are more groups like this that just haven't been exposed yet. There are more FCKs, and people are going to try their hardest to make sure they never get fucking outed.
Okay. All right.
That's a depressing end note.
I think everybody's tired.
Yeah.
tired. We all want to go to bed.
Oh, I'm
So
fucking
Dylan,
tired.
yeah,
He's just
Dylan,
ready
thanks for
to
calling in, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fun being on. You guys provide a lot of content for me at work, so when you asked me to come on, I'm like, yeah, I guess I can return the favor.
Yeah, no
I'm
problem,
fucking
man.
uploading 40 hours worth of fucking content.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one, man. Kumo, I just wanted to say I'm liking your coverage on all of this. Do you want to say anything real quick? I think I'm going to have you on again to go into more detail as the videos keep coming out. But if you want to give like a little response or like just a moment to say whatever you want to say, I'll let you have it.
Sure. I mean, there's plenty to look forward to. Like at the end of like my Peaches video, I referenced another situation where they sort of like badgered this severely handicapped person who not only had like a self-reported room temp IQ, but had brain damage and was a manic schizophrenic. and they sort of used that person for like all their dirty work, like their archiving and gay ops and stuff, and then threw them under the bus and said, you don't care about victims, you're the reason why this case failed, and like sort of yoinked all of their logs. That's something I want to cover because that's actually another rabbit hole on its own that everyone will find interesting. The sort of
Yeah.
person spearheading that charge, sort of like weaponizing Lao to do it, is completely fucking psychotic, and it's going to be another interesting rabbit hole.
Mhm.
Because it's one of the very people that were being like wrongfully victimized in the narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they thought they could jump ships and throw Lio under the bus. But that's not going to work. So that's something that is in the works. I'm editing Gilded Pooh's video on Lio, and that's going to have more added to it because of all this shit today. So that's going to be fun. And then once I finally get done with his, which shouldn't take too long, as long as he like gets that last part into me, I'll be resuming my projects as scheduled, which is the follow-up video on Lio, where I sort of retrospect where it all began with Medicare, and
fuck
then the third and final piece on Peaches to kind of wrap everything up. And then I have like a whole bunch of art CC shit and like that I'm going to be making videos on. Like I have a planned video on Jar and etc. So
Hell yeah. Well, appreciate you coming on, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man.
Dip now.
All right,
My
Leia.
turn.
Yeah, go for it.
So my final thoughts are, the continuation of the Senate discord moving into the Supreme Court. It needs to stop. The people are getting affected by this. It's getting to a point where these bully calls are ending up with people actually possibly putting a shotgun in their mouth. It's cult like behavior. I implore you guys to stop. You guys are grown adults. Go to the gym, lift some fucking iron, go pay your bills, go live life. This Discord bullshit that you're doing in these particular Discords is just not healthy, and I suggest it stops. But it's not going
Yeah.
to, and whatever.
Yeah.
I'll be here to cover it.
Well, Leia, you made a great decision covering this stuff because it's done a great job for your channel. I wish you best of luck. You have a really good grasp of this stuff that I did not realize. To me, the more I try to understand this, the less I know when it comes to this community. So I'm very impressed with people like you and Beckett, who have been able to at least have some sort of understanding of this community. I just like laughing at a guy who likes to dress up like a lion and hunt pedos, and want to talk to people's moms. But thank you again for calling in, Leia. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye.
Yep. All right. By the way, I just wanted to say shout out to DHT for the $1, the only donation of the night, and everybody's like 0707. That's funny. Everybody's 07ing the $1. Thank you, DHT. Beckett, did you want to say anything or?
Yeah, I like Leia. It's very sad. I'm devastated and disgusted and shocked. But on another note, endless content for 1,000 more years.
Seriously, yeah.
This isn't fucking going anywhere. It never has. I think it's interesting when we talk about kind of like starting on Skype, starting with other groups. It's going to continue. The Supreme Court's going to be the same fucking thing. You can't persuade these people any other way because this is what they're doing. And cool. Fuck it. Somebody might as well get some joy out of it, and I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think I like having a laugh.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend otherwise.
Yeah. Well, no, we got endless content when it comes to this saga. We did this whole thing was kind of just us like talking about Leo Convoy with this Dylan Thomas guy, but we go into more detail about all this stuff with Beckett, Hellbent, me, and Beavers. We did a recorded episode that should be being released in 4 to 5 days. I'd love to have a Kumo and Kumo on to talk to them as well on a live stream about all of this as they continue to release their videos. I also want to plan like a big stage, like to call it the new Senate, and form my own Senate within commentary and bring in all the old Senate people to come and talk on stream. So anyone who's like pro Leo or pro Hopeless Peaches or pro Senate, and then people that are like anti Senate, like Akumo stuff. I'd love to have everybody just come in and just fight each other and have a good time. and not accuse each other of being pedophiles or whatever else they want to do. Shout out to Brian Isaacs for the $2. Is Gilded Poo a zoophile? Beckett, that's your question. I don't know the guy.
No, he's not. So okay, let me just answer these fucking questions because it keeps coming up. No, he's not. His server got raided first by the mod in Senate who made people draw bestiality as a punishment. Gilded raided back, and during the course of that raid, somebody else posted bestiality porn. Gilded did have a hard drive of stuff, but it was just 4chan memes and gore, and yeah, apparently there was some weird shit in there. But anybody who's been around for a long time knows that those raids from 4chan things contained a lot of stuff like that. So Gilded is an internet troll, and you can throw those criticisms around, but yeah, it's one of those. Consider the source of the people calling Gilded.
Is it fair? Is it fair to say a little sussy though? Just a little sussy.
I mean, I think I'd say that his what's a good way to put this? I'd say that what his lines are of what's normal on the internet are a little bit blurred, but I don't think it's degenerate, if that makes sense. He just doesn't have the same lines with fucking with people.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's also he himself has said he realizes the internet has changed from where it was when he was starting out, 20 years ago or whatever the fuck it was. So yeah, people can throw the accusation, but I don't think it's said. I think it's like the Akumu and Kumu thing. People keep throwing shit at Kumu, but the stuff they're throwing at him happened when he was 15. And all these people talking about, oh, you can change, people can change. It's well, whenever you're fighting with somebody, you're happy to throw shit that happened years ago at them for an easy dunk.
Gotcha. Yeah. The thing about zoophiles, though, when it comes to what they do, there's I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know how I'm supposed to transition to a bad with money.
They buy a lot of costumes and accessories, and you know what? That's pretty irresponsible of them because that means they're bad with money.
Those who are also bad with money are Joe Vile. Channel has been deleted. K Hutcast, Pigeon Salad, Ringtail, Echo of Tragedy, Brooke A, Everborn, Strictly Patrick, Fresh Brewski, Jacob, Thomas, Reynold Hughes, and Mame. If you want to be bad with money, you can pay $14.99 a month. Get your name set after every live stream, like this one that's happening right now, or every podcast episode. Can't afford that. We got the Beaver Lover, $9.99 a month. Gets you into priority calls. So when we're doing a live stream, you could get pulled right up first. Also gives you early access to now recording episodes. We haven't had a chance to give early access to the last two now recording episodes because one was already a member stream and the other was, in drama that we had to get out ASAP. And if you can't afford that, there is the Stumpy. That is the double cheeseburger of the memberships. The very cheap one. $4.99 a month gets you access to now recording live streams, now recording specific membership episodes and membership live streams I meant. And yeah, those are our membership tiers. All right. I think that's it. I think we finished this. Anything else? Core?
Nope.
I'm
good.
I tell you what, I'd really like to take a little break from the art drama, just a tiny break to wait to see everything else come out. I'm thinking maybe try to cover the Review Tech USA stuff for a stream because I saw him crying on Twitter, or maybe something like that. But if you have any suggestions, let us know in the comments. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to support us, you can do the members, or you can just leave us a super chat as well, or go through Streamlabs, which doesn't take any percentage from YouTube. And that's it. And yeah, now recording is always recording. Have a good one, guys. Bye.
Peace.
Fuck you. All right.